Hey, look, it's us.
Hi
Hi there.
Twitch.
Hi. It's us.
Hello. Hello, America and the world.
Yeah, we are not just an American exclusive podcast. We are available to everyone.
Yo, shout out in chat if you're from the world.
If you are in space and you have internet access,
Oh,
we're even available there.
Yo, if you're from the world, let's go. Shout out to all my worldies.
One world.
So we talking
One
about
people.
2016 movies again?
No, Doug. You know
How
what,
about
Doug? You know what?
2017
You know what?
today?
You know what happens, Doug? When you sass me, you go into technical
What?
difficulties. Please stand by. Doug's gone forever. It's also not episode 47, but here we are. You know what I'm saying?
It's a 48.
Yeah. I honestly
For-
don't even know where the fuck that thing is.
We are shockingly close to 50 at this point.
Yeah, that's frightening. All right, Doug, you can come back and join our podcast.
Awesome. I enjoyed my time out.
oh my God.
Got some comments on Twitch.
Comments?
Dirk's all about that Kraken today.
Oh yeah, he's loving their social media
got
and
hockey
their
on the
team of like random people.
Like the liquor brand, Kraken?
The hockey team
Hockey team.
out in Seattle.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
Holy shit.
Who's ready to talk movies?
Dude, let's talk some movies because that's the only thing that keeps me awake now. When I'm not talking movies, I'm sleeping. I sleep like 24 hours a day, 6 days a week, and on this week,
And then you wake up for this
today,
JP wakes up from hibernation. Just to record.
I wake up for like
cryo
3
sleep.
hours, and then I go back to sleep. Yep. It's literally all I do. I don't have a job
You're like-
anymore.
You're like Ripley.
Yeah, I don't have a family. I don't have a life. I talk movies once a week. That's it.
Let's do it again.
It's good to be awake. It's good to be awake. I'm
Now
looking
we
forward
have
to
you.
my sleep again for another week, but it's good to be awake.
Well, now that we have you here, let's just fucking go.
It's a
All right, boys and girls. Welcome to Live, Breathe, Film, episode 48. You're here with Corey, Doug, JP, and Murph. Thanks as always for joining us. Today, we're going to be discussing our favorite death scenes in film and television. They're going to be memorable ones, some sad, some hilarious, some brutally violent, along with who we think aren't going to make it alive out of James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. When we do cover that section, just know that when we post it on social media, all our picks of who's going to live and die will also have a blank card that JP made that you can put your own picks for who will live and die, tag us on social media, and we'll repost it, and you can join in the fun. And the winner of who gets this right in the next couple of weeks when the movie is released, they'll be determining the film for the next movie club. But we'll get more to that later on. Until then, let's run through some news and share our thoughts on Fear Street Part 3 and the trilogy as a whole, along with Space Jam: A New Legacy. News. So we've got a few different announcements this week for very different types of franchises. We'll start with the DC Universe, Extended Universe. Today, Leslie Grace was cast as Batgirl in the new Batgirl film directed by the guys who did Bad Boys 3. I believe they're also going to be doing Beverly Hills Cop 4, if I'm not mistaken. So perhaps this one will be done in between. But Leslie Grace, she was in The Heights. She was the main female role in that one. I haven't seen her or heard of her until this film last month, which not a lot of other people have actually seen it since as we've discussed, did not do very well. But guys, what are your thoughts on this? Do you have any interest in a Batgirl movie to begin with? Any thoughts about the actress based on, I think 3/4 of us have seen In the Heights. So yeah, just kind of let's gauge your interest right now.
I have very little interest. I think Batgirl existing in a universe where there's like a Batman that's established and Robins and a Bat family is a inherently good movie, but just making a Batgirl movie because I don't think it works. Just like if you made a Robin movie because or a Nightwing movie because just out of nowhere, it's just not gonna work.
Mm-hmm.
It's not something I'm super excited about. I mean, but she's obviously used to being an actress in blockbuster movies like In the Heights. So
Yeah, this might be another one where we think it's going to make a lot of money and then he does not do well. Do you know if this one's coming out in theaters or is this an HBO Max exclusive? Because didn't they plan on doing? They had said fairly recently they were going to do like 2 in theaters every year, 3 in theaters, and 1 on HBO Max, something like that.
I don't think they said exactly what they were going to be doing, how this was going to be rolled out.
I mean, the directors seem big enough based on. I mean, Bad Boys 3 was the biggest movie of 2020. Absolutely smashing year for film.
A lot of movies came out that year. It had some stiff competition.
A lot of records were broken, but mostly on the negative side. Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat as you. I mean, I think this one was. I know this one was originally supposed to be directed by He Who Must Not Be Named.
Yeah. Can't speak positively. I'll kick you off the show.
That would be.
I forgot about that.
JW. If you need some initials to help you figure out who we're talking about. But yeah, they got new directors now. They've got their Batgirl. I don't know. I guess they're gonna need to announce a bunch more before it gets my excitement up. They had a short list of actresses that came out maybe like 3 days ago online, and there were some on there that I was more looking, who I would have been a little bit more excited if they got cast. But this is what we got.
Who do we have on that list?
We had Haley Lou Richardson from Split and some other things. We had. Let me pull that up.
Yeah, I just think
Deutsch.
I think
Yeah,
Zoe
Zoe Deutsch. Who, as we talked about last week, is Leah Thompson's daughter.
mine still blows.
So those were the 2 I knew. I didn't know Leslie Grace was by name alone until I heard her actually get cast today, and then there was Isabella Merced.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is either. So the 2 whose names I knew, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
But I really would have liked Haley Lou Richardson. I've liked her and everything I've seen her in.
Was there anyone else casted up until this point?
Oh, this Isabella woman was in Transformers 5.
Oh, lovely. I didn't even know they made a Transformers 5.
Yeah, The Last Night.
Lovely.
Well, 6 will be out soon, so.
Oh, great.
Yeah, that.
It wasn't the Bumblebee one, was it?
Oh, and she was in the she was Dora the Explorer in that Dora the Explorer movie.
Oh, how lovely! I didn't know they made that one either. That sounds like a nightmare.
Corey, what was your question?
Did they announce any other actresses that are tied to this movie yet, or just her?
Just her.
Okay, so there's no speculation with villains or any other.
Yeah, and we know that the plot's under wraps, but it will be Barbara Gordon.
Yeah. I mean, she's an interesting character, but I don't think she can carry a film by herself, like the character itself.
Did the actress stand out to either of you guys in the Heights?
I still haven't seen In the Heights.
Oh, you didn't. Doug, I know you did.
Yeah. No, she didn't.
Yeah, I know.
She like wasn't that interesting to me.
Yeah.
Neither was the
Neither was the film.
I mean, make a
They
Bat
both were
family
Warner
movie.
Brothers movies, so maybe that's what helped her. What'd you say, Jimmy?
Just make like a Bat family movie, or if you want to do it on HBO Max and give them all a little spot. It just seems like it's gonna be like a Titans-esque thing, and if it's gonna be a Titans thing, why not just do it on Titans?
Yeah. I do not know. And Corey, how did you not watch In the Heights? You wanted to see it so badly. You had it, or no, you didn't have it as one of your movies, but you were going to see it in theaters, and then you had it on HBO Max for 31 days.
He's just following the
what-
trend, man. No one's watching it.
This is what happens with me. It's the same thing with television shows. You know, if something gets off my radar for even a day, it's gone. That's it.
You never had a shot.
I got to see it. I got to see it right when I'm interested. If not, that's it.
All right, well, you're self-aware.
On to the next thing.
That's a good thing. And good segue. We'll go on to the next thing. So, The Rock today confirmed he won't be in any future mainline Fast and Furious movies.
Dude,
Question:
him and
Does
Emily
this
Blunt.
include? Does this include like Hobbs and Shaw? Does that
I
count?
do not believe it. I believe it only includes the ones that Vin Diesel's involved in.
Okay,
The main movies.
got it.
Dude, him and
Yeah,
Emily Blunt fucking dunked on Vin Diesel. That was brutal.
Yeah.
Wait, what happened?
Yeah,
he
what did
got-
Emily Blunt
They
say?
got questions asked, or Dwayne got questions asked to him on the press junket for Jungle Cruise about what Vin Diesel had said about how he was like trying to push The Rock and get the best performance out of him.
I believe he used the word Fellini-esque or something.
Yeah, yeah. He said he wasn't being like, not to be confused with like Fellini-esque or something like that, but he was trying to get stuff out of him. And yeah, and The Rock and Emily Blunt were laughing and cracking jokes at Vin Diesel's expense, and so yeah, I don't think we'll be working with Emily Blunt anytime soon either.
No, I don't think so. That was hilarious
Jeez.
to watch or to read though. It's
Yeah,
Vin Diesel essentially admitted that he was being a dick,
yes,
but to get like the best performance.
well, that's what he claimed. Yeah.
yeah, because he's like, as the producer of the film, like this is like, I'm trying to get the most out of him and things like that. Like they have an antagonistic relationship, like in the films.
I need to motivate my family. Your family to be rock. I need to motivate.
But yeah, the Rock doesn't appreciate it. So
Yeah, I mean it's called like acting. Like you like stop when the camera's not running, right? I mean,
Not for Vin Diesel. He's like, you know, method. He's a
Yeah.
method actor.
he is fully Dominic Toretto when he is on the set.
Dude. And was it like they took to Twitter and things like that, and Vin Diesel was just like going after him on social media platforms? I know Tyrese got
No,
involved.
that was The Rock going after Vin Diesel and
Gotcha.
Tyrese going after The Rock. It's just all insanity.
Dude.
I do want
Family
to note.
coming in.
I do want to note though that both these actors are the types of people who just talk nonstop about how they do everything for the fans and stuff like that. So it's fucking petty that two rich guys can't just squabble their beef for a little bit and do these fucking movies. Like it's pretty embarrassing. Like don't pretend like you're like all about like the fans and all this stuff if like you can't just put your ego aside for a little bit and do this shit. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. I
Mhm.
think that's fair enough to say.
Because I mean he's such a big part of these movies at this point, like The Rock, that it's a shame that he won't be in either of the last ones.
Yeah, at the same token, I feel like 9 made it pretty obvious that they don't really need him, and he's too fucking big for him anyway.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah, I mean he definitely isn't necessary. It's just like
It'd be nice.
at this point you think he's like part of the family. So he should be with the family on the big screen.
Nah, he's excommunicado.
He's in like John Wick world of being
Yep.
excommunicado. Oh well. Then the final piece of news we got this week is that Clerks 3 is official. Lionsgate is footing the bill. So we got a legit studio back in a Kevin Smith movie for the first time in a long time. Probably back to, I don't know, Cop Out, maybe?
Ugh.
Something like that.
That's not
Like,
good.
yeah,
That's a
not
terrible
necessarily
movie.
good in that. In that move case, Kevin Smith was a gun for hire. Like, he didn't even write the script or anything.
Yeah.
But and then he got, like, I guess teased by Bruce Willis, and like he was very upset.
I mean, when you show up
He
on
was very
set
upset.
and Bruce Willis says, "I'm only going to be here for 2 days. Get all my scenes filmed now." I mean, probably throw you for a loop
Hey,
there.
hockey jersey guy, get this over and done with fast.
I got shit to do.
I already spent my check from this movie. I got to go to another one to get another check. So
Don't worry, I will not be trying in that film either. But yeah, we are getting a Clerks 3. They start filming in Jersey, our hometown or our home state, this coming week, which is real fast track.
Real exciting.
do we know where? Are they going to be doing it in Red Bank,
Quick Stop.
Monmouth?
They're doing it at
Nice.
the Quick Stop in Leonardo.
Oh, that's great.
That's the main setting of the film. Everyone from Clerks 1 and 2 that are alive in real life are back. So we've got Dante Randall, Jay, Silent Bob, Elias, Becky. We've got one of the female leads from the first movie, and then I believe Kevin Smith's wife will also be returning.
I
From the
wouldn't be
second one.
surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if this movie's out by like April of next
He
year.
said it'll be out next year. Yeah, he said you'll be back at the Quick Stop in 2022.
That's awesome.
I'm like tempted to like fucking drive down there at some point and just see like the whole
He
like
opened up,
setup from outside and go to the new stash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he also opened up like a podcast studio in that same area of where the Quick Stop is. That's why he was like down there for the announcement. Is 'cause
Okay.
that had its grand opening as well.
Wow.
And I think it's attached to the same building as the Quick Stop. So, and
Dude,
he's
you
selling
gotta-
tickets to that.
Oh yes, yeah, that is a fact. It's at the video store, from the first Clerks.
That's so.
Wait,
And,
that's a podcast studio now?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I imagine like that cast is gonna be all around the fucking shore this summer, while they're filming the movie. I mean, I imagine the shoot will only last a month. It's like by the end of August they'll be done with. But yeah, Doug, fly up. We'll make a trip down to that studio and everything.
I wonder how ambitious it's going to be. If it's going to be more in line with like a Clerks 1 or a Clerks 2, because Clerks 2 was fairly ambitious in terms of sets and scenes, and it was a little over the top.
Yeah, this is his first film since the original Clerks that will be entirely filmed in Jersey. The setup for like the film is that Randall has a heart attack, similar to Kevin Smith, and then he decides to film a movie at the Quick Stop about their life. So it's like that
Oh,
meta
that's
type
cool.
of situation. It seems like it'll be more in line with the first one, and at least in regards to location and things like that. But I imagine it'll be still a little bit ambitious, and they'll probably get some cool cameos and stuff like that. Maybe they'll get Affleck down there again.
Did they go back to the Quick Stop at the end of 2?
Yeah,
Okay, I forgot. I haven't seen that movie in so long.
yeah. 2 ends where they're both back working at the Quick
Right, it
Stop, and then it
zooms
goes
out.
to
and it
black and
goes to
white
black and
again.
white, Yep.
hmm
Maybe we'll get
Uh-huh.
some Loki from Matt Damon's Loki.
I would love some Ben Affleck in it. It'd be nice if they could get him down there.
Bartleby
Did-
and Loki,
Wait,
right?
is-
That's her name?
yeah. Have we ever talked about the fact that he's played Loki in 2 different franchises?
True.
He was
haven't.
Loki, right? In
Yeah.
Dogma.
Yeah,
And when you first said that, I was thinking of Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah. Ben Affleck was
Interesting.
Bartleby, and he was Loki.
Yeah, Matt
Yeah.
Damon was Loki. Yep. That's
But yeah,
wild.
I'm cautiously optimistic for this one. I think it'll be way more like low key than Jay and Silent Bob reboot, and not as like
God, I fucking hope so.
like
I will-
self-parody. Because I mean, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back was like a parody of it, like everything. Also, it just did it a lot better.
Yeah. Dark Brains Jason Lee's got to come back.
Yeah, I
That'd
would
be
hope
great.
to see Jason Lee back.
He didn't do
He had a quick
shit
cameo.
anymore.
He had a quick cameo in Clerks II, where he had the "My name is Earl" mustache.
Yep. He was contractually obligated to keep that damn mustache for like even after the show went out. Even if they didn't do it anymore. Fucking guy.
Yeah, even if you just see him skateboarding outside the quick stop, that'd be cool.
Now he just does Alvin and the Chipmunk movies.
Yeah, he's got 4 of them under his belt.
Jesus.
But yeah, that's it for announcements. On the box office side of things, we'll go through what's gone on recently and where our current standings are for our pool from this summer. So Black Widow had a pretty damn large fall for its second weekend. 68% it dropped. That's the biggest drop of any MCU movie in its second weekend. So movie theaters, like that whole union group or whatever, I think they're called, no, they're not NATO.
This fucking NATO is intervening
it's
on
something
behalf
that's
of Black Widow.
it's something similar, but with like maybe it is NATO.
It might be NATO. Because I remember hearing it and I was like, wait a minute, that doesn't sound. And then I was like, oh shit, that is right.
Yeah, it is NATO. Yeah, it is NATO.
Wow.
The National
It's the
Association.
other NATO.
The other NATO, the less important NATO. The National Association of Theater Owners. They lashed out at Disney for basically undercutting every form of revenue for this movie by putting it out on Disney Plus Premier Access. It was the highest illegally streamed property over like the week after it came out.
Oh, right.
Disney wouldn't even. Yeah, Disney wouldn't even
get,
report
like,
it.
a perfect copy of it.
Exactly.
Immediately.
Yeah.
No watermark. Again, as good as it can be. They didn't report their numbers for weekend 2 from Premier Access, so you know they're not good.
Ooh.
And like a fairly high reviewed movie, barely opened above F9, dropped farther than F9 in its second week.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Massive drop after its opening day for the rest of the weekend. It's proving to have 0 legs so far. And now they're like, all right, now because you're doing this, you're going to fuck up VOD sales later on. You're going to screw up DVD sales later on. Like, you're killing all your like extra revenue after being in a movie theater, after you already killed being in a movie theater.
Yeah.
So, yeah, everyone's going to start attacking everyone soon. It should be interesting to watch.
It's amazing. I didn't think Marvel would be the first one to get like this seriously lashed out on, especially with what HBO Max has been doing with these movies.
Yeah, and if they continue to do it with the rest of the movies on the on the docket for the rest of the year, like Dune and
Dune sure as shit ain't going to HBO Max. There's no way at this point that that's happening.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I guess the theater owners have been happier with Warner Brothers because they've made it clear it's strictly a 2021 thing, and like in 2022 they're going back to like a semi-normal theatrical window, while Disney's just randomly announcing things like without talking to them, and that I think they're pretty annoyed about, because like they were fucking pissed at Warner Brothers like last December and everything like that. But it's just become par for the course, and Warner Brothers slate hasn't been like that big, so like they lost $5 million on In the Heights, but like they're losing lots of money on the MCU, which is the type of movie brand that they rely on to stay in business. Yeah. So
especially after that opening weekend, that's such a tease. Because you're gonna be like, okay, we're back in business now. We can hire more people back, and then boom.
Exactly.
We lost.
Corey. Yeah, Doug, I know you were looking in a lot at the numbers.
Yeah, what I found interesting is like a lot of people like I listen to online or friends that I've talked to, everyone's saying like I saw it on Disney Plus. Like very few people, I saw it, which I find surprising. I don't know. It was weird. A lot of people. I think it was just this isn't a movie that unless you're like a diehard that you were gonna go out to theaters to see.
Yeah.
Maybe you would
Yeah.
have if you like had no choice, but I think this is one where like people seem satisfied to just like sit on the couch and
Exactly.
it just doesn't have that blockbuster appeal, even
Like,
though it technically should have been a blockbuster.
yeah, and like I see people freaking out. Like, is this like, are people tired of the MCU after all the shows this year? After Endgame kind of wrapped up so much, but like I feel like we need to wait until the big movies next year, like the Thors, the Black Panthers, Doctor Stranges, Spider-Man at the end of the year, before we can really judge anything like that. Like I don't even think Shang-Chi and Eternals can be counted because they're completely new things. Um, if like Doctor Strange and Thor and Captain Marvel and Black Panther and Spider-Man, if those 5 movies in a row, that's fucking killer slate. Like if they all underperform, then there's a fucking problem.
I mean, is it a killer slate though? Because I'm not excited. I'm excited for Spider-Man, and then I guess to a lesser extent Doctor Strange because it sets up stuff. But I didn't really like Doctor Strange 1.
Yeah,
I just
I didn't. Yeah, I just think he got a huge boost from Infinity War.
yeah.
And the fact that Wanda's in it.
It is Sam
WandaVision
Raimi
and all
doing it
that.
too,
It's
right?
the multiverse.
So,
Yeah, it's Sam Raimi. It's got a lot going in its favor. Um, but then, like, I mean, Black Panther, the first one. I mean, yes, we don't have Chadwick Boseman in it, but the first one made $700 million in the United States. Um, we've got Thor. Ragnarok was huge,
yeah.
and then Captain Marvel made over 400 million. So like, they're all sequels, is what I'm saying, and they all take place after Endgame. So you think that they would perform on par with their last ones,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
we'll
if
see.
Spider-Man doesn't do well, then everything's fucking doomed, and I think
Yeah,
you just shut it down because Spider-Man still has the most heart out of all of them, and I think it appeals to more general of an audience because people like the Spider-Man character better, I think, than a lot of these. So if that one does bad, then I expect
yeah,
something
and
below.
it's opening like around Christmas. Like
Yeah.
that's when the Star Wars movies opened, Lord of the Rings, like all these movies that have killer legs and break records. Avatar. So like, and I don't have we got other than Aquaman. I don't think we've in Spider Verse. I don't think we've gotten any superhero movies in December, like around
Yeah.
Christmas or like and Blade Trinity, but that doesn't fucking count. Um,
Yeah, it's not a
so like
usual place for
so
those type of movies.
it'd be really interesting to see how well it does, like a movie like that does, in like right around Christmas. Um, but yeah, one other thing I wanted to note about the whole Disney Plus thing, like Doug mentioned, a lot of people are watching on Disney Plus. Like we don't know how many people are password sharing, um, not even including piracy. How, like, let's say summer camps or something, they just rent Black Widow rather than paying for 100 kids to go to a movie theater
Oh,
to
I
see
didn't
Black
think
Widow.
about
That's-
that.
Yeah, I never even
Um,
thought about that.
Ooh.
There are
Mm,
because it's not one person buying this movie for $30.
No.
It is always going to be groups of people, and we don't know how big these groups are.
yeah.
So yes, and they don't even I didn't even realize this. They don't get 100% of the revenue either, Disney, from
How?
Disney Plus. They only get like 85% or
So
80%.
who gets
They
the
have
other?
they have
Who's
to give
getting the rest of it?
percentages. They have to give percentages to the different companies that are like Amazon Prime and stuff like that are linking to the movie
Oh.
for you to watch it on Disney
Right.
Plus
The
on
servers, whoever's
yeah.
sharing the files for your server.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Got it.
Fire, I guess like Amazon Fire Sticks and Apple TVs and things like that. They're paying them too, so they're not making 100%. And
Yeah.
with theater tickets, they at minimum they're getting 50% of the tickets. But Disney tends to negotiate way better than other studios, so they're probably making at least 60% of the tickets. So like Disney Plus, I
Wow.
don't think is that big a like you're not making that much more from a Disney Plus thing than a theater ticket for a group
Well,
of people. If
I'm sure the
anything
Premier
more.
Access is gonna disappear.
Yeah, I mean it's going to be done with Jungle Cruise. We know that. And it's going to
That seems
one
like a
other.
mistake too.
Nah, no.
Well,
Gonna make
the
$10
diff-
billion.
You
don't think so?
I'm make
I think there's a difference between. I think Black Widow is targeted to a demographic that is savvier and smarter when it comes to piracy and things like that. versus a family movie like Jungle Book or Cruella, where parents are just ordering it and throwing it on for their kids. I don't think you're going to see too many like 20-year-olds fucking downloading Jungle Cruise, streaming Jungle Cruise the way that they would for Black Widow. I think these are that Jungle Cruise is more likely a movie that people would either see in theaters, they'd pay for it on Disney Plus, or they'll wait till later on.
Sounds like a great idea. You see Jungle Cruise in theaters. In theaters. IMAX if you can. Buy 2 tickets, even IMAX, only if you are one person. Buy 2 tickets.
Just to support the industry.
Yes, just the industry. Not so I can win.
Anything else about the Black Widow numbers or anything like that before I mention Space Jam and how that did?
No, it was an underwhelming.
No, just that I'm gonna lose thanks to fucking Black Widow and its poor second week performance.
Yes, likely. But we'll get to that in a second. The other thing to note was that Black Widow couldn't even make it 2 weeks at #1 at the box office. Space Jam: A New Legacy grossed $32 million to Black Widow's $26
million.
Wow. This weekend. So LeBron and the Looney Tunes were #1. I should note that while this one made more than Space Jam did on its opening weekend back in 1996, if you actually look at the number of tickets sold, Space Jam in '96 with Jordan sold like double the amount of tickets.
Wow.
Like it would be like 60-something million in 2021 dollars.
Yeah.
So completely different with the amount of turnout. Jordan far eclipsed LeBron.
I mean, this is another one though that's an asterisk because you got it's free on HBO Max. You don't even have to pay $30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just have it like
I mean, this was the type of movie where like I can see movie for free at AMC free because I have a membership, but I was like, nope, I will watch this at home. I am not wasting my time going to a movie theater to watch this.
Here's the thing. I was like, I could totally watch this at home for free, and then I didn't. So there's also that.
Now you don't get to join in the. Well,
nah, I wanted
you could
to.
still rag on this movie. You can still rag on it, despite the fact that you haven't seen it.
I wanted to, but I didn't have the time to sit there and watch a commercial for Warner Brothers.
But either way, it did open at #1, so cool. It won't be #1 likely after this week with Snake Eyes and Old opening. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, let's go into our standings. So we've had some shakeups. Corey has now been eclipsed by Doug, and last week they had a $1 million difference. At this point, Corey's got $172 million with Conjuring, Peter Rabbit, Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard, and Space Jam. But Doug with Black Widow, mostly from it had strong weekdays in between the 2 weekends. He is now in second place with some comfortable distance between him and Corey at $197 million for In the Heights, Forever Purge, and Black Widow. Now he is only slightly below JP. There was only like a $3 million difference. It's possible that by now, over the last couple days, that they're right neck and neck. But JP's at $200 million, solely with F9 and Boss Baby. So he's only had 2. He's got Jungle Cruise coming up next week, which is huge, along with a few in August. And then I'm still up in first with $238 million. So my lead keeps slightly dwindling. Thankfully, A Quiet Place still had the smallest decline in the top 10, despite the fact that it's on Paramount Plus for free. And on VOD already.
Paramount Plus.
I know, it's perfect.
No, yeah.
I'm on a failing platform while you guys are on successful ones.
Fake streaming platform. You probably get ads on Paramount Plus when you try and watch it.
But yeah, and then I got Old coming out this weekend, and then I got a few later in the summer. Doug, you have Snake Eyes this weekend, so it'll be interesting to see when we're back in 2 weeks, because we won't be doing an episode next week, where we're all at after Old, Jungle Cruise, and Snake Eyes are all out. it's definitely possible that 1, 2, and 3 are all in different positions. While Corey is in 4 still, right before the Suicide Squad comes out, and then that's his number 1 pick of the summer. At this point, maybe that'll be. I mean, it could be the number 1 movie of the summer. I don't even know if Black Widow will top F9. F9 could be the top movie of the summer.
Yeah.
Shang-Chi could end up being the number 1 movie of the summer.
Jungle
Really
Cruise
could go
end up
either
being
way.
The number 1 movie this
Jungle
summer.
Jungle Cruise could end up being the number 1 movie of the summer. It's possible. It's definitely possible. Yeah, it's such a
Jungle Cruise
slow summer.
performs like a Jumanji type of. If it has like a Jumanji effect, it could be pretty big.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
That's a good comparison. Yeah.
You know who was in
that's what you
Jumanji,
need
Doug?
is for it to be Jumanji.
The Rock.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Yeah.
He's.
Or
I
it
don't know
could
if you
play
know
like
this,
a
but he's also in Jungle Cruise as well, starring The Rock and Emily Blunt in theaters.
Or he's got a
Next
pretty
weekend.
cool hat that he wears.
Sick
play like
hat.
could play like A Quiet Place too with Emily Blunt. Currently number 2 of the summer.
Maybe she's the pandemic-proof box office goddess. Maybe just having a movie with Emily Blunt, it means it will drop none.
I mean, she's absolutely gonna be the biggest draw of the summer.
Yeah.
Just from Jungle Cruise and Quiet Place. There's no doubt about those 2 are making more than anything else this summer, her or any other actor. Because I don't think anyone else was in 2 different movies.
No, The Rock could have been
Ryan
in Fast
Reynolds has
9.
been in a couple. Sam Jackson was in a few, but those didn't gross that well. And yeah, Rock could have been in F9 and just blew everyone out. But well,
So far the steal pick is got to be Quiet Place, right? I mean that thing.
Mm-hmm. It's had legs
Just
like crazy.
crushed it. And when did you get Quiet Place? Was it second round?
yeah, first pick of the second round.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Were you back to back?
And that's
Yeah, back to back.
Yeah.
I did Shang-Chi and Quiet Place. I would say Cruella might have been the steal.
Cruella. Yeah. I forgot that Cruella just like has had legs.
Yeah, because I think that's the 4th biggest movie of the summer.
That movie just like keeps earning money like without fail.
Yeah, I think I don't know if I got that my 3rd or 4th pick, but all right, let's talk trailers. We got a few new ones to talk about. We've got a comedy, we have a horror movie, and we've got a drama. We'll start with the comedy. I believe we're all very much looking forward to this one. Not Doug, are you a Jackass guy?
I'll watch it. I'm not.
I wasn't sure. Like you've been in Florida for the last 2 entries. We were all away
I
for
saw the
college
first
when
one
the
in
second one
theaters.
came out. We were all in high school when the first one came out. But I don't think we saw it together.
No, I saw it with a friend.
I know Corey, me, and JP all saw the first one together. JP, I saw the second one with you. JP, I've seen all 4 of them with you.
Yep.
And yeah, Corey, I think we saw just the first one together. But yeah, Jackass Forever. So in this one, it's looking like a swan song for the old vets, along with a reunion with the old vets, but then a bunch of new cast members as well. And we are getting a bunch of cameos. We know Eric Andre's in it, Machine Gun Kelly's in it, and we got some new cast members who look like they were fans of the show back when they were younger than us, even, and they're part of the crew now. We know we don't have Ryan Dunn since he passed away, obviously, and we don't have Bam Margera due to substance abuse issues. But everyone else is back. Knoxville looks like he's going to be as crazy as always. What do you guys think? Any particular stunts that stood out for you? You think it's any chance of being as good as, I would say Jackass number 2 is probably the peak.
Yeah, that was really ridiculous.
And Jackass 3D, probably the second one, best one. But what do you guys think? Anything that really knocked your socks off from this trailer?
I didn't really notice any of the new people, which I think was probably a good thing because that's
definitely a good thing.
They blended in pretty well. they fucking brutalize Eric Andre with that airbag thing.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I get doing it to the Jackass people, but doing it to like a guest guy, that's pretty fucked up. Even if it is Eric Andre, who's like a total piece of shit, but like
He
that's
does
his thing.
similar types of he did like that similar type of Jackass movie fairly recently.
Yeah, I fucking love Eric Andre. I'm excited to see him in this.
Did you watch Bad Trip, the one on Netflix?
No, I just watch his nightmarish talk show
Got
on
it.
Adult Swim.
Yeah, because I think maybe Jeff Tremaine produced that one, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that. Pulling it up right now because it looked very similar to like a Jackass movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when that came out.
No,
The,
I don't want to go to Netflix. I want to go to Wikipedia. Sorry. There you go.
The bear stunt
Oh,
at the end
God.
looks very interesting.
Dude,
that one
Aaron
I'm
always gets like the scariest shit.
Yeah.
I feel bad for that
Between-
guy.
Being in the trunk.
Oh,
Yeah, Jeff Tremaine produced Bad Trip,
Oh, okay.
Eric Andre one.
the two fishbowl helmets with the spider in between them.
Oh my god, hell
Fuck
no.
that. Like I know
Who was
that,
in that? Was that was that Aaron also?
I
or
know.
was that,
I think it was I think it were two.
It was a new
people in
guy.
it, Yeah.
It looked
Yeah, I
like
think
it was definitely
I think one
new
was
guy.
a new guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that.
I know tarantulas don't really bite and stuff. They're pretty docile, but still, absolutely fuck that. I think that's probably up there with putting Bam in a what do they put him in, like a fucking trailer filled with snakes that one time?
Oh,
'cause
that
he's
was
afraid
so
of
fucked
snakes?
up. Yeah,
No,
that was
yeah.
fucked up.
That's fucked up.
I think the one where Knoxville gets taken out by the bull, like real fucked up. I think that's the stunt that he did that got him in the hospital that weekend when they were filming.
That
It
would
makes
make a lot of
sense.
That's what I was
sense.
reading.
Is there a bull in every single one of them?
I mean, it's always seems to be Knoxville like it's fucked up by the bull.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a running joke now.
They had the one where they were on the kind of
the
like
teeter
seesaw.
totter. Yeah, the seesaw.
Yeah. They had that one, and then they had just a normal one where they were dressed in red, I believe.
And then the Jackass, like I think one of the outros was they let a bull loose,
yes,
or it was a stampede.
yeah, or the opening
Yeah.
of the movie was
Yep.
all the bulls attacking.
When he ran past and then just ran off and all the
yeah,
bulls.
I think that
followed.
was the first. That might have been the first movie.
Yeah. So I guess the bulls are a running theme.
Recurring. Yeah.
Mhm.
All right.
Was the baseball player, was that a celebrity? The
I
one
think it's like a major league
Oh
softball
my god.
player or something like
Oh,
that.
Yeah.
That's what I was wondering that cuz I
It looked like she must be like
She
a
seemed pumped about
softball
that
player.
nut shot.
yeah.
That's one of the great like clips of it. How fucking jacked up she is after getting right in the nuts.
Yeah. I hope they
And
bring back
Was
Jason
he wearing
Taylor.
a cup in that or no at all?
Yeah, right.
I wondered.
I highly
that?
doubt he was wearing a cup.
I couldn't tell if he was wearing a cup of any kind.
I don't know. I mean, but the one back in the day where they dropped the stuff from the roof, I know they were wearing cup
Yeah.
cup tests. But I'm not sure about this
Maybe
one.
because you can
Oh,
get
I
you
love-
can die from that.
Yeah, I love the one where they're riding the bike super fast and they go right into the wall.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
I
that was
loved
cool.
that.
That was really cool.
Because that's not like that's so fucked up. That's just absolutely hilarious. That's just some
Yeah.
Looney Tune shit in real life.
Yeah, exactly.
And they got me too. I didn't even notice it was.
I didn't see it
was a
coming.
thing.
Yeah, they definitely got me as well.
Yeah, that was a good one. It looks like it'll be fun. It looks like it probably won't live up. It probably won't live up to Jackass 2. I mean, let's be real, but
Yeah,
they
that one's just insane.
haven't seemed to run out of ideas, which is insane for.
Yeah, I mean, I know Knoxville said like I guess he every time he thinks of something, he just writes it down. Over the past like 10 years, he's bringing back the bad grandpa character.
Yes.
Which is that's always
Oh my
good.
God. I almost threw up laughing because of Jackass 2 with the grandpa character when
Oh,
he was stealing shit from that store. I couldn't stop laughing.
That was like one of the only movies where I felt I was gonna throw up from laughing so hard.
I was Lon Chaney's lover.
I hope Spike Jones returns as the grandma. I'll be happy to see that.
I'm pretty
yeah.
sure he is because Bam Margera called out Spike Jonze for being like a piece
Yeah,
of
I mean
shit.
he's producing it again.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as you got Tremaine, Jones, and Knoxville, like those are like the most important ingredients. But
Yeah.
getting as many of the character, like the original guys, back is almost just as important.
Yeah, it's great to
Raytheon?
see. Well, that's the funny thing is I saw something on Twitter. It said it figures that the second person you see in the new Jackass trailer is fucking Raytheon because it's a throwback to one of like the really old ones and just Raytheon standing there. Like,
Yeah,
I'm sure he
yeah.
won't be
They
in
go
it,
back
but-
all. No, he's in it.
Oh, he's actually in it.
Yeah,
Oh, that's amazing. I love Raytheon.
or maybe it was Rab himself. One of the two are definitely in it.
That's good.
But yeah, the clips in the beginning are from the TV show and shit
Yeah.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm super excited for this one to see it with everyone. I know we'll have a blast as always.
Yeah.
All right. Malignant. We've got the new James Wan horror trailer finally out.
Spooky movie.
This one's gonna be in theaters and HBO Max since it's a Warner Brothers flick. What did you guys think of this one? This was the first we got of any indication of like what the movie's actually about.
Yeah.
Which
Do you guys understand what it's about? It was kind of like a
No, I don't. I know there's the girl's been, I guess, seeing like,
Okay.
the
It was-
main
Yeah, she
ghost or
sees-
whatever
she sees
since she was a
murder.
kid.
Gabriel.
Yeah.
Gabriel, who's also the devil, which I guess that makes sense, right? The arguing Gabriel is the devil, and it seemed like people were dying, and she was seeing them die, and with each death, Gabriel's getting. I don't know. I was like, what the fuck is this story about?
Yeah.
But I thought it looked. I'm not a huge Conjuring person, but what I do like about Conjuring is it's not really well, and the camera works fun, and so it looked like it's that. So
Yeah. It definitely has
If
that
you like
James
Conjuring-
Wan aesthetic.
Did you end up watching Conjuring 2 this past week?
watched 10 minutes of it, and I was like, this is really.
Really?
And
What?
I watching it.
What did you think about it? Did anyone else hear?
Sometimes I feel like
Nope.
Doug's watching us on Twitch and then responding to us.
All right,
Yeah.
forget I asked the question.
Can you not hear me?
No, I heard you watched 10 minutes of it and then you cut out.
I was just saying I didn't like it. I found like the plot seemed like easy.
Oh, okay.
Um,
So you gave
it's
up.
different. It's different than what you expect.
I don't know if we
actually.
Okay, she was like doing her like reliving a murder thing, and I was just like,
Mhm.
I don't like these two characters that much.
I mean, similar to The Conjuring, where after the first 10 minutes, like they're no longer the main characters, and it goes to like a family.
Yeah, that's
And they're a
where
lot-
that's when I like it.
Yeah, and they're a lot more interesting. And then like obviously the Warrens come into play as the movie goes on, but probably not like for practically 45 minutes or an hour into the movie. And then the movie's got some twists that I didn't see coming, which were really cool. I would say if you got time, give it start it back up
Keep
at 10
going.
minutes and see what you think. Give it another half an hour to decide. Corey, you've been super excited about this one, so what do you think?
Yeah, I mean it looks good. I like Doug said how it's shot. And it looks like a cool mix between like a slasher movie and a paranormal type of movie. So I'm definitely excited. Not really sure exactly what the movie's about yet, but I feel like that's kind of the point. It seems like a lot of it is shrouded in mystery. So, but I'll definitely check it out.
Yeah, this one I'll probably watch on HBO Max. I doubt I'll see this one in theaters.
Yeah, I don't know.
Um,
I don't know if I'll
There's
see it
only
in
so
theaters.
many like Warner Brothers movies this year. I'm like, all right, I'll go see it in theaters. It's like the ones that are more like mid-budget, low budget. I'm just like, I'll watch it at home. But yeah, no, I thought it looked interesting. Looks like a James Wan movie, which I'm happy to watch more of. I still have to catch up with his Insidious movies
Yeah.
at some point. But yeah, looks spooky. So got that going for it. All right, and then we've got The Last Duel. Star-studded cast, directed by Ridley Scott. We've got Adam Driver, Jodie Comer, Matt Damon, and Ben Affleck. First Affleck Damon pairing since I guess the Kevin Smith movies and Good Will Hunting before that. Doesn't look like Affleck's a huge character in the film, from what the trailers look like. But
I didn't even notice him in the trailer. Was he heavily make-upped or something?
No, he's
he
a
had
Yeah,
blonde
blonde man.
hair.
Yeah, he's got blonde hair.
He looks like he's
Okay.
like the big boss guy who makes like decisions or something. But yeah, more looks like a three-piece with Matt Damon, Adam Driver, and Jodie Comer. Jodie Comer actually looking like she's the star of the film.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, this looks like a Ridley Scott like Gladiator, Kingdom of Heaven, Robin Hood, that type of throwback type movie for him.
Yeah.
Battle scenes are looking like they're going to be pretty awesome, like the duel scenes, and then it's got a different type of story than I think we've seen in a film, and it's based on historical events. Anything in particular you guys wanted to shout out? I know all four of us were looking forward to this one after seeing the trailer. And JP, this was on your top 10, I believe,
Yeah.
for the year.
This looks awesome. This looks like a Arthurian drama type deal. And Matt Damon's rocking this sick Arthurian mullet.
Yeah.
And a real scarred face.
Gonna be-
he looks crazy. He's seen some fights as a knight. It looks awesome. It looks gray and gritty and probably full of mud, and you could tell which characters are rich because they won't be covered in mud, which is it's a great part of those types of movies. It's awesome. I still can never get over the fact that Adam Driver was like a Marine and is in action movies and stuff, because he just doesn't seem like a man that's in action movies. He's a very thin man, but I guess not. I
Yeah,
don't know.
exactly.
It's weird.
He appears to like if he has like a shirt on and stuff, like he can look like kind of like tall and
A
lanky.
goofy little
But, like,
nerdy guy.
But like he's like very muscular.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a big guy. He's tall too.
Good
He
for him.
probably would. Yeah, he'd probably like fuck like people up in
Oh,
like
yeah.
a fight if it came down to it.
Yeah, he's a
And
United
he's
States
just a
Marine.
he picks really interesting roles. So he's very much looks like the villain in this film.
Yeah.
Which and a much more like nasty villain than like Kylo Ren, a real world villain.
Not a whiny little baby that smashes his helmet and then fixes it and smashes his helmet again.
Yeah, exactly.
Jodie Comer, she's in Free Guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I knew her face looked super familiar when I watched the
Yeah.
trailer.
So yeah, Fox went all in on her for their like last year of existence, casting her in two of their final like big movies, in like the female lead role.
Nice.
We'll see how it pays out for Disney
When
over
does
the
this
next
come out?
few months. This comes out in October. I
Nice.
believe the week October 15th, the week before Jackass Forever. And then Malignant opens the week after Labor Day. So September 10th, I believe.
It's a good year for medieval movies. We got this, and we got the Green Knight. I'm pretty pumped. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, Green Knight. 2 weeks, I think.
Yeah.
I want to see that too.
I saw a commercial for the Green Knight the other day that sort of explained it was a 3-minute thing, explained the whole tale in the context of the movie and showed clips from it. Oh, I'm even more on board right now. I'm excited for that one. It's gonna make no money,
later
but
at the end of this month.
they got a ticket from me for sure.
One thing I was also thinking after watching this trailer was the press junket for this movie is gonna get Matt Damon and like these actors in so much trouble because they're gonna say things that like are going to get taken out of context and stuff like that based on like the plot of the film.
Mhm.
Oh,
So
yeah.
Matt Damon's gotten like shit on in the past for like saying stupid things that he shouldn't say, and I just know this is going to happen in October. I'm like,
For
oh,
the
you
whole rape
guys,
stuff.
yeah, he's gonna say something dumb. They're gonna ask questions that are gonna put people in tough positions and easy positions to say something where they're gonna get taken out of context.
Hey,
Uh,
Matt, do you think women should be burned at the stake? Well, I mean, yeah. I mean,
and,
my
well, it
character
depends
does,
on
of
the
course. Yeah. I
circumstance.
mean, if you're in medieval times, I mean, why not, right?
Oh, I'm, I just hope Ben Affleck just goes away from press and just doesn't bother at all. He's like, my role's not big enough. I'm not getting involved.
I want to fucking lean into it. Let's do all. Let's have Ben Affleck do all of the press for this movie.
Or I'll just look sad like he did when he did the
Aw.
Batman vs Superman
Oh
press.
my god.
Fucking heartbreaking.
When's the last time that Matt Damon and Ben Affleck were on a screenplay together?
A screenplay. Good Will
Yeah,
Hunting.
because so this was their first time writing together since Good Will Hunting.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's pretty crazy.
Pretty good track record.
Other than like Dogma and all the Kevin Smith movies, I guess.
Yeah, but that was just acting.
Yeah, they didn't write it.
Like this is
Oh.
them actually like writing the movie together.
True.
Who the fuck would have ever thought that those two in a room together write good movies?
Yeah, right.
That's one of the more shocking
do you
things about
remember-
Hollywood.
Do you remember when Family Guy made the joke about Matt Damon was doing all the writing and Ben Affleck was just like
He said a
playing video
word.
games on the couch or whatever?
Yeah, he would say something every once in a while, and it was just like
Yeah.
dumb. Yeah.
But that was before Ben Affleck then had like a kick-ass directing career
Yeah.
and everything like that, and writing and directing his movies.
Yeah.
That's true.
But yeah, this screenplay is Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, and Nicole Center. And then yeah, Ridley Scott directing.
Wow.
So
It's got all the pieces there for a really,
Yeah,
really
it's got
good
a-
movie.
Yeah.
yeah,
a lot of
it's-
pedigree.
exactly. The ingredients are there, so we'll see how it does. All right. So we'll report back on these movies as they come out later this year. But we'll go into what we watched now. We've got to talk about Fear Street Part 3, 1666, the final entry in that series, and then, well, the final entry in that trilogy. From what I'm hearing, there will probably be more Fear Street movies based on performance and stuff like that, and the director, writer is interested in doing more.
Yeah, that's
And
exciting.
then Space Jam: A New Legacy, the sequel to the world-renowned Space Jam. All right, let's start with Fear Street. So, third and final one, we already talked about the first two. Where do we rank it among the three? How do we think it did closing out the trilogy as a whole?
I think I liked this one actually the second most. I still think I liked part 1 more, with part 2 probably pretty close, but I did really, really like this one as well. So I want to watch all 3 of them again. And kind of I'll see where I'm at, because I really did enjoy each and every part for different reasons.
Yeah, I think this last one probably is my strongest, my favorite out of the. So I'd probably go, if I had to rank it, 3, 2, 1. I thought it, because this movie is 1666 slash 1994 whatever,
Yeah.
part 1994 part 2,
Mhm.
right? I mean, like,
Yeah.
you get both of and so I think I enjoyed the first part, and that they brought all the actors back, and I thought that was a fun way to do it rather than introducing whole new characters in 1660. And then I just liked the 90s stuff better. I thought the 90s
The
stuff
first part.
was more fun. Yeah, than the first part of the 90s.
Yeah. I'm in the same position as you, Doug. I thought this was the best one of the trilogy. I would go 3, 2, 1 as well. I think each entry made the previous one better, which was something very interesting. And I thought each entry was better than the previous one, which those two things I don't think I've ever seen done simultaneously in a trilogy, which was pretty neat. I didn't expect for almost half the movie to be set in 1994. Like when that Fear Street 1994 Part 2 pops up, I thought that was pretty sick. I was expecting like at least like 20 minutes or 30 minutes, but not like 50 something minutes to be set in the present day of the series. And then I thought the 1666 stuff was just the best stuff overall that they did done in the entire trilogy. I thought the story was by far the most intense, dramatic, well acted, all across the board. It was something that you don't really see on film that much. Like it wasn't a slasher movie like the other ones. I mean, it had the occult elements and everything like that. The scariest people in the movie were the fucking normal people who were just on their witch hunt. Blows my mind that everyone just listens to a drunk person that's like the town drunk. I was like, fuck this guy, man. Just like punch him in the face.
Yeah, it's like, why is everyone listening to this guy?
Burn
Like,
him
how
at
is
the
he
What I kind of
stake.
liked about
Then
it,
leading the mob?
all of a sudden, people started to see Sarah Fear, the demonic temptress. It's like, I saw Sarah Fear over there. I saw her doing this. It's like, why didn't you mention it before? All of a sudden, now you're saying it?
Because they're dumb.
Yeah. Yeah.
what
exactly.
I like though that they did story wise that I thought was better than what I had seen before is that there was actually like clearly a curse on the town.
Yeah.
Like there was very clearly like something going on, whereas
Yeah.
like a lot of time you see like a witch trial or something, it's something not that bad happened. They're like, oh, she's a witch, but then like I'd be like, yeah, this town's it's like
It's like, there's
the
something
shit that's
going
going on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, there's very clearly a curse.
everything is going wrong, and yeah,
And the twist was fantastic. Like it was much. I enjoyed the twist in the second one, but like this
Yeah, the
twist
twist in this
in
was
the
good.
third one about what was actually really going on the entire time and like who was the one responsible for the town being cursed. I thought it was like very well done.
Yeah.
They explained everything like super well, super clear, so there's no like ambiguity about anything. When they went back to 1994, it was a lot of fun. I agree that 94 Part 2 was better than 94 Part 1. It was just everything in the mall was just a blast, bringing back basically every single villain from the entire trilogy, or every different cursed person throughout the entire trilogy from over the years was super cool. And ultimately it was a satisfying ending. I mean, the post-credit the credit scene sets it up for potentially more to go on later on. But like they don't need to do it. Like it could totally just be its own self-contained trilogy. But yeah, this was probably the most fun like movie event of the summer. Just because it was such a different experiment that we haven't seen before, getting an entire trilogy in the span of a month.
Yeah. The one other call out I want to make is the accents in 1666 was actually like surprisingly like well done. I was expecting it to be like really hammy, and a lot of the performances were pretty good. Not like The Witch good, but it's not that type of movie.
Yeah,
I
this
just
is an
thought that-
824.
Yeah. So especially
didn't find
the
anyone-
lead actress who played, I guess, Sam. Is that her name? Who was
no,
Sarah Fear?
Sam's the-
Sarah Fear?
Yeah, the one who, what was her name?
Dina?
Yeah, there you go. Her accent was awesome, like in her performance overall.
Yeah.
yeah, I liked her.
She was very strong. But yeah, overall, it was solid. Did anyone predict who the bad guy was going to be?
Kate did.
At a certain point, I
Aaron
Put it
Rodgers being the
together,
bad
but-
guy?
yeah, I was thinking the exact same thing. When he has the wig on,
You
Yeah.
know, more and
He
more
looks
this
exactly
summer,
like
man.
Aaron Rodgers.
I keep thinking Aaron Rodgers might actually be a bad guy in real life. So it makes sense that he'd be the villain in this.
Yeah, no, when he's playing Solomon in 1666,
He looks exactly like Aaron Rodgers.
He
Yeah.
really does. I thought it was him.
I mean, even in the present day scenes, he looks like Aaron Rodgers, but
Not,
1666,
I didn't
like,
see it until the wig came on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they shot like Aaron Rodgers
Oh,
was taking like,
wow.
a wig and throw yeah.
He just kind of look like Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, and I think this one, going back and rewatching, you'll catch a lot of stuff. Like, I didn't realize in part one that the nurse from the school, from like the camp, she was in part one also. Like, she's the one who babysits the kids when they need to like run on, like when all the teens need to
Yeah.
do their shit.
Mhm.
So there's definitely a bunch of stuff you catch after the fact, after having seen them.
Yeah, it threw me off that she like doesn't age.
That actress, yeah.
Yeah, we're over like the span of like 20 something years, and it's like, oh, she's still the same.
It's 16 years later. But yes, she would look definitely a little bit older.
Yeah, I was like, oh, it's her, but she hasn't aged at all. That's weird.
Mhm. Yeah.
But yeah, the ending was fun. It was very like Stranger Things with like the mall and like the big showdown in the mall.
I didn't find out until after the third one that the writer is either engaged or married to one of the Duffer brothers who does Stranger Things.
Interesting.
So maybe that had something to do with the similarities. But I know she's only like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years older than us. So like she watched like the Scream movies and shit like that when she was growing up. Like that was the big influences for her when it came to like horror.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
ultimately
it was
the
cool.
ending was a happy one. Like everything pretty much works out, minus everyone who
Not if you
died.
lived in Sunnyvale.
Yeah, true.
Then you were like screwed because you had like this perfect town that everything was always perfect. And now they broke the curse, like shit was going wrong.
Yeah, that's very true.
I thought about that though. There was people that like for generations that got to live in like it's Sunnyvale, right? Or something like
Yeah,
that.
Sunnyvale.
And
Not to be confused with Sunnydale.
Exactly.
Yeah, they like got to live for like centuries where it was just like awesome to live in this like town.
Yeah, instead there's a car
Shady
crash.
Side was just like
like 2 minutes after the curse ends, there people are hitting each other with cars and shit.
That's fun.
Yeah. It was fun. It felt like a goosebumpsy. Like it had that vibe all the way through.
Yeah, just an R-rated Goosebumps.
yeah,
Yep.
and not only did was each part, super entertaining, but it's surprising that it ended, and stuck the landing.
Yeah.
Completely.
Yeah, that was impressive. That ended both as a strong like last film and the trilogy as a whole.
Yeah.
It pulled no punches with the kids dying in this one either. That fucking church scene was wild.
Yeah, that was
Oh yeah.
gruesome.
A lot of
I was
people
disappointed that priest wasn't like a big bad though. He was just kind of like crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yep,
whatever. I guess they had enough big bads.
Exactly. Yeah, there was a lot of them. All right. What about Space Jam: A New Legacy? I believe we have some conflicting views on this one.
Does it have a catchy theme? Like, welcome
No.
to the Space Jam 2.
No.
H.O. Chance, do your dance again in Space Jam 2.
Where
No.
we're not even in space.
Not even in space.
No, nothing's in space.
Fuck that.
They're in
It's
the
on the WB server.
Yeah, they're in the serververse in Warner
It's
Brothers.
such like what's funny is that's the 90s concept is you're on like a server.
Yeah.
Like that was like the classic place to go in the 90s, and then this one should be space. Like it kind of got it mixed up.
Like, what even is internet? I don't know. Let's put him in a server. That's where we'll put Michael Jordan. But no. That's horseshit. Boycott this movie.
I was happy that they got Michael Jordan back for this movie.
Yeah,
The
it was pretty awesome.
Michael B. Jordan cameo was the only time I laughed during the movie.
Oh, do they bring him in thinking he's Michael Jordan?
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah.
phenomenal.
And he says,
Yeah,
"Clear,
it was great.
clear eyes, full hearts can't lose."
Well, that's lovely.
Yeah. That was the only laugh I got. This was one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my entire life. It was terrible. I can shit on like Hook and these movies from back in the day, but they don't fucking even remotely compare to how bad this is. This was fucking awful from start to finish. I don't know what you guys were watching. What were you watching?
I
didn't
mildly
hate it.
enjoyed
Yeah.
it. Yeah, I didn't think it was. Yeah, it was on par with the first one. The first one's
No,
not a
it
good
wasn't.
movie either.
No, the first one was way better than this one. Everything about the first one was better than this one. The music, the story, the acting, you had Bill Murray in the first one.
Yeah.
The villain.
You had Newman in the first.
You had
one,
Newman,
too.
Danny DeVito as the cartoon villain.
Uh-huh.
1,001 times better than Don Cheadle as Al G.
Don
Rhythm.
Cheadle wasn't
Al G.
bad.
Rhythm
He just
was terrible.
I like
but
that.
it wasn't. I thought Don Cheadle's performance was fine. Like I thought yes, he didn't have the best. Like the whole algae rhythm thing was like super corny and not great, and his lines weren't
so corny, but I
the
love
best. But I thought he did. I thought Don Cheadle's performance wasn't a problem. I thought Don Cheadle probably elevated a pretty lackluster script.
Why wasn't he a CGI character if he's like in the serververse? If he's an algorithm, like why was he a real
Because
person?
they ran out of money animating LeBron James.
Yeah.
I don't know. So for me, I thought like having the tunes. I like the Looney Tunes, so like having them back, I thought was fun. Whoever they have voicing Bugs these days, I thought was a little distracting. It didn't like sound like Bugs Bunny.
He's not very good.
But I liked the Looney Tunes. I liked seeing them pop up in other Warner Brothers properties. I thought was kind of fun.
Can we talk about the special effects of the arena during the game?
We can talk about everything that you want to talk about.
That was so bad. I thought the special effects, other than that, were fantastic. That looked like straight up, like PS1, like arena graphics, like just stand-ins.
Flat people,
so weird.
cardboard people.
Almost, yeah.
Well, and then right in the front, you had some of the worst cosplayers that ever existed.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Warner Brothers.
That was a mistake.
Yeah.
If I have to look at the guy doing the penguin one more goddamn time, like it was so distracting.
It was.
There's not like a lot of them either, which is kind of strange too.
The one
was
the mask.
The one who was it was really distracting.
Oh
too.
yeah, the it one was terrible.
It just looked like
one was bad.
Ruby's
the
wig.
penguin was really bad. Who else was terrible? Was it? Was there a Mr. Freeze or like who was that guy?
Yeah,
there was
a Mr. Freeze.
Okay,
There was
he was
the mask.
horrible.
There was the mask.
There was Jared Leto's Joker was definitely there.
I saw
somewhere.
Robin from Batman.
Yeah, I saw the original, like 66
show,
Adam West. Burt Ward, Batman Robin. Oh my god, it was terrible.
I just like they shouldn't have bothered having this.
The basketball game made no sense at all. There was no logic to the game.
It's like a billion points. They were up like a million points.
They were up by 1,000 points. It was 1,066 to like fucking 40 something, and they come back and win.
I was fine with the fact that like those games, like even when it is real basketball, is kind of goofy. So whatever. I don't.
Can we talk about what about the twist?
Wile E. Coyote wants to shoot a bunch of balls to get them up like hundreds of points.
Poor Justin Roiland had to be involved in this film, and tarnish Rick and Morty for their like 2 seconds of screen time. God.
Oh yeah, the Rick and Morty.
Yeah, that was interesting. I love how they almost pulled a Pixar with their twist at the end.
What twist?
They almost
There was a twist.
Yeah, they almost kill off Bugs Bunny.
Oh
God,
yeah, that ending made no sense.
That was stupid as fuck.
I was
You
like,
gotta
wait, how are they all like out of the server now?
Yeah, like
Bugs,
how does that
Bugs is
work?
gonna be dead.
God,
Yeah,
this
the ending was-
movie made Tom and Jerry from earlier this year look like a certified classic. Like I would watch Tom and Jerry 15 times versus watching Space Jam another like let's say 2 times. It was really really bad. JP, I wish you watched it so you could shit on it with
Murph,
me.
you got a guest star on Twitch in your screen there. He's chilling with you.
I like LeBron. LeBron was
Nice
good.
day. LeBron was not good.
He was
LeBron was
surprisingly
not
good.
good.
Oh God,
And he was like,
He was way better than MJ, like acting wise.
he couldn't
Way
act
better.
out of a fucking box in this
Yeah.
movie.
It's a low bar, but I went in.
he acted like an athlete.
He acted
Which
like a
is-
terrible father and
Oh, he did act like
a
terrible.
terrible actor.
Is it his actual kid in the movie, or is
No,
it
it's just
the
No,
actor's
no,
kid?
no.
They don't even bother to
couldn't-
give him the fucking same names. They have different names.
Yeah, they didn't have the same names. That was kind of weird
Wait, what?
choice.
The kids aren't even like Bronny
Yeah.
and something else. There's like 2
Wow.
random names. And fucking one of the ladies from The Walking Dead's his wife. I mean, I get it. The first one didn't have Michael Jordan's wife either.
You
But, like-
can't have the real like family
I know.
there to
Yeah,
go
because
off
probably
of like.
they're probably even worse actors than.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
need somebody that can like act in the movie. So to like take LeBron's wooden acting and like do something with it.
I didn't
They
think he was
had-
that wooden.
They had a Wayne Knight character
wooden.
who was absolutely like non-essential. That he wasn't funny. He was a waste of time to watch.
Oh, the
one who's
agent.
like, yeah, the one who's supposed to be watching LeBron,
Yeah,
and then
he was terrible.
like Wayne Knight was fucking really good in Space Jam with his role with that. Man, you thought LeBron was good?
I thought he was. I thought he was fine.
Yeah,
was
I
impressed.
can't support that. I can support that I didn't hate the movie, but LeBron being good at acting, I can't get behind.
You
course
can't get behind
difference.
that or Algae Rhythm's name.
Yeah, the Algae Rhythm name. It
That's-
really like this is
Oh,
the
that's
movie
so
that should have
cheesy,
came
but I
out in the
loved it.
90s. It feels
Yeah.
like a 90s movie.
Which is, I feel like, what the point of it was. It was supposed to feel like a
guess.
fucking Space Jam sequel, and I think it's successful in that respect.
He didn't even go to space. There was no space involved. How is that successful?
Were there jams though? Like, well,
And the first one didn't have anything to do with just
We
being
saw
like a
the mon-
Warner Brothers.
We saw the
The first one
Monstars.
wasn't a Warner Brothers commercial. Yeah, we did see the monsters. I actually gave a little bit of a smile when that happened.
Well, that's
Yeah, it was. They showed them a couple times, and I was like, oh yeah, it's those guys.
Like, why was it just a Warner Brothers fucking advertisement for an hour and a half?
Yeah, I don't
Like,
know. That
other-
was
That was weird. Yeah,
weird.
Where it
and
was just
tacked on,
like-
very tacked on.
And I do hate the new Warner Brothers logo at the start of their films.
Yeah.
That started, I guess, I don't know when it started with Wonder Woman, maybe. It's so fucking ugly. Like the one that they had with Joker and Tenet, like so fucking good. Such a nicely like designed logo, and now they've got this ugly ass water tower with
yeah.
fucking too many shades of blue. Ugh.
I agree. They probably paid a fortune too for that new logo.
It probably did. I hope people are shitting on it. I hope Warner Brothers is listening to this right now. And they understand the sins that they have made over the past year.
So, Space Jam 3?
No.
I'll
Hard
watch it
pass.
if it's free on HBO Max. They'll have my.
Well, they gotta wait for like
no
another
money.
generational NBA talent to show up and then enter the twilight of his career to be in Space Jam.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
Either
Yeah.
that or someone gets kicked out of the NBA for gambling and then starts playing baseball, and then that's why they get to be in Space Jam.
Well, at the rate they're going, we'll be almost 60 years old when the next one comes out.
Lovely. Hopefully, I'll be dead, so I won't have to watch it.
They should take this concept and use it with other sports. I feel like that would be interesting.
You know.
Why would it be interesting? It was so bad.
The last fucking thing I need to see is like Peyton Manning lining up under like fucking the Tasmanian Devil under center.
Well, I
thank
read
you.
that they wanted to do Skate Jam in the late 90s with Tony Hawk.
Oh god, that would.
I mean, that would have been.
Thankfully, they didn't do that.
I would have died. I think.
I feel, Corey, you're giving it your blessing, aren't you? You wish this movie existed.
What, Skeet Jam?
Yes.
100% he does.
I
He
mean,
can say no, but
I
he's a
w-
liar.
I'd be mildly interested.
Okay.
And I know I would have seen it too. Because I'm an idiot.
Yeah, I would have seen
At
it
least
as
if it was
well.
99, like I wouldn't have I still would have had like the brain of a child, so like that would have been an excuse to see it.
Yeah.
But like now, as an adult, like why did I waste an hour and a half of my life watching this? Or 2
they could
hours?
do-
It was almost a 2 hour
It was
movie.
2 hours.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Good
it was
lord.
like basically a 2 hour.
Yeah.
The first
They
Space
could-
Jam I remember for its brevity. It was like not even an hour and a half.
Yeah, this one was long. It was an epic.
You had to have that half-hour Warner Brothers commercial.
Yeah.
That's what made it long.
Warner
Yeah,
Brothers can
that kid's
do.
game sucked dick.
Yeah.
LeBron's kid's not gonna have a successful video game. The game sucked. And the new basketball players were terrible too.
Yeah, they were. Warner Brothers, their next foray into this could be with Colin McGregor. He would be a good lead.
Colin
Have him.
McGregor?
You mean Connor?
Conor McGregor, whatever. Conor McGregor.
Where he's
That-
talking about murdering somebody's wife?
I don't think
It would
Conor
be-
McGregor
it'd be a
fits into
great-
the fucking Looney Tunes family-friendly
be-
aesthetic.
It would
Where
be
he's just telling everyone to fuck off.
Yeah. It would be a great concept.
I would tune in for that.
Half
Yeah,
the movie
don't
would
tell
be
me that
him
you wouldn't
selling
tune
his
in for that.
fucking whiskey.
It would have to be like a sausage
be
party, like an R-rated comedy.
It would be
Yeah.
rated R.
No, leave
All
it
right.
alone.
Anything else about Space Jam?
No, I don't believe so.
Fuku Space
Yeah, I
Jam.
don't think so.
All right. Cool. Then we will move on away from this third of a movie and go to our feature presentation, where we're going to talk about our favorite death scenes in film or TV. So these are memorable ones, comedic, sad, super gruesome, all of the above. We'll be spitfiring all different ones. And then after that, we will talk about our predictions for who is going to live and die in James Gunn's The Suicide Squad, opening on August 6th. But let's start with the death scenes. Anyone want to throw someone out to get this thing going?
Yeah, I'm gonna say probably the saddest death scene of film history of Wilson the volleyball from Castaway.
Very emotional. He was Tom Hanks' rock throughout the film, even though he was a volleyball, not a rock. And yeah, he was not a living thing, but yeah, it was sad. Because Tom Hanks is that damn good an actor that he could make a volleyball floating away in fucking ocean a very sad scene.
Seriously.
I remember I was like,
Yeah.
this is really upsetting me right now. It's like Wilson.
Yeah, I mean, if you have to put on Tom Hanks's reel of like some of his best work, I think you got to throw that scene on there.
Dude, imagine having the power to make people give a shit about a volleyball.
Right? Completely
some kind
inanimate
of
object.
It's like some kind of supervillain powers or something like that.
Yeah.
And you throw his blood on the face, and for his handprint, throw some leaves on top for hair, and you got yourself a Wilson.
You got yourself a lovable side character.
And that's what he was.
Yeah, and the movie just gets dark after he dies. He goes back to the real world and finds out like his
Yeah, that's true.
fiance is like married.
That's
It's
such a
very
kick in the
sad.
balls.
He misses. He missed
things were
the
surprisingly
Titans Super
happier.
Bowl.
You know
Things
the
were good.
best way
Things
to
were
end that
happier on
movie?
the island.
Dude should have walked to the beach and was throwing rocks, and all of a sudden Wilson just fucking washes up on shore. That's how Castaway should have ended.
There should have been an end credit scene where someone finds Wilson.
Yes.
No, it should have ended like the original Jumanji, where like the
Another
the
person
board game-
passed away.
board game washes up on the shore, and some new like homeless person or something finds it and is like super joyful.
That'd be pretty funny.
Epic music is playing.
Yeah, You have to have the drums of Jumanji also. What are some other emotional ones
Oh, dude,
that we got on here?
Mufasa dying in The Lion King is one of the most emotional ones I can think of, at least as a
I
child.
cried like a little baby.
Yeah, that's of any animated one, that's got to be like right towards the top of the list.
Little
I
Simba
mean, you got
going down there, nudging him.
you got yeah, it's like that and Bambi's mom. Those are like the two like animated ones that probably
shit up.
top anything.
Up is sad too, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
so-
like
you don't really know that character.
That movie
as well.
hits you fast. First 4
Yeah,
minutes.
they in 10 minutes they're making you feel like garbage.
yeah, that's a hard skip the first 10 minutes of this movie for me.
Go to the fun stuff with
Yeah.
talking dogs.
Yeah.
It's skip
It's
the
like,
drama.
oh, it's just some grumpy old guy.
I'm
That's
here
why
for
he's so
whimsical
grumpy.
shit, not to like live out my
wanna
sad,
see the-
pathetic life.
Yeah, I want to see the flying house, not the sad-lived, not reaching all your dreams, married couple, and one dies.
I was promised a fat little Boy Scout, a talking dog, and a house with balloons. What is this shit?
I shouldn't be
my-
crying now. Fuck you, Pixar. Then we got Goose and Top Gun on here. Yeah, I mean, who's the actor? That was the dude from ER. All right,
George
that
Clooney.
played Goose. Yeah,
Not Anthony
exactly.
Anderson.
Anthony Edwards
Anthony Edwards, yeah.
Yeah. as Goose. So we'll see his story continue with Top Gun 2 later this year. Goose is a kid in it.
Yep.
Yeah, that was definitely a bummer with him going. Maverick then having to fly solo, then become friends with Iceman.
Dude, I mean,
Yeah.
why? But he became friends with Val Kilmer, so that's just like a win.
That's
You know?
true.
Val Kilmer's a great guy. I've never seen Top Gun.
Good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little
Still
too
holds
like
We'll do Top Gun for you.
a little too 80s for me.
It's very 80s.
It is very 80s, yeah.
It really doesn't even have much of a plot. They're just like, oh, like, let's just have some cool plane scenes, and
We're just gonna fly some shit and blow some stuff up.
Tom Cruise like get shirtless to play volleyball. Here's our movie. But yeah, I mean it's still being watched today. So
Yeah. People
similar 80s movies. We've got Rocky 3 and 4 on here for the deaths of Mickey and Apollo Creed. The first one that popped in my mind with Rocky was Apollo Creed. Because that man, throw the damn towel. That one is just so rough, so brutal. You're just watching the man get murdered on
Throw the damn towel.
in the ring. It's hard to watch.
After such a great entrance into the ring too, with
the cockiest entrance ever.
Yeah.
with like the Uncle Sam hat.
Yeah. Living in America. What is that?
And-
James Brown is there like fucking performing?
And then Ivan Drago just fucking brings some Russian jabs fucking to the dome of Apollo Creed. And yeah, they could have saved him, but he chooses to die in the ring, and they don't throw the towel. Rocky doesn't throw the towel. It's very, very sad stuff.
Rocky's just a dum-dum. And he's a fucking accomplished murderer right there.
He's like, I want the spotlight. I'm going to let Apollo die. And then, Corey, you threw Mickey on here, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I feel like this is a little bit more, maybe not as stressful, but equally as sad. Mickey. Just like the build up, because you knew like a couple minutes before, I guess, like the scene where Rocky, is over him. You notice that like he's just not. There's something up, and I remember like distinctly like one of the first times I saw it, and I was like, oh no, Mickey's gonna go. But I think the biggest part that makes this whole segment so sad is Sylvester Stallone's performance, like when he passes away. I think that's like one of the best scenes like he's ever done. Like I just like how he acted that out. It was really emotional, real sad.
And it was the first death in the Rocky movies, so like, kind of catches you more by surprise. Like by the time we
Yeah.
saw 4, we're like, okay, maybe they're gonna like a normal thing is one of his like mentors is gonna die, and I guess they didn't do it too many times after it, but yeah, that was the no pun intended. That 1-2 punch of those two movies were
Hey.
intense.
Those movies are dark.
Does the robot mourn his death?
No,
No.
No.
Okay. Fucking
more
unfeeling
the
robot.
The
Robot's
robot's
called Polly.
yeah, the robot's busy trying to get laid by Polly.
Oh my
and
god.
the robot is not going to be in the director's cut of Rocky 4 coming out later this year.
Wow.
There's a director's cut of Rocky 4 coming out later this year?
There's a new Stallone's been working on a new cut for the past year.
Whoa.
Comes out in November.
Are they adding more special effects like George Lucas?
Yeah, they could put Bantas in the
Like-
background of most of the fights.
I think they're trying to make the movie less like goofy. And yeah.
Rocky
Wait,
doesn't
so the
punch first.
robot subplot is
That's gonna
coming
be
out of the
hard.
movie? They
Yeah,
cannot remove that.
Well, he did. So
I
And
love
they're
the
happy-
robot
And they're putting Mutt
subplot.
Williams in
I don't
there,
know.
Corey.
I don't know how you can make
Cross-
that movie not goofy.
cross franchising and putting in Mount Williams. So yeah, you can just skip this one if you really need to see the robot and just watch the original again.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch it, of course. I know they have my money.
Unless you lose interest right before it comes out.
I'll never lose interest in Rocky.
All right, we'll see. All right, other emotional ones on here. I guess we can say Logan dying at the end of Logan. I think we kind of knew that one was coming though.
Yeah, it was about time he died. Guy was alive forever.
He did have a very long life.
Overstayed his welcome.
It was a nice little ending for him, though.
I had
No,
one.
dude.
I had one on
It
here
was-
and then I took it off. Is the horse in Neverending Story? Atreyu's
Ooh, yeah,
horse
that's-
getting sucked up by the quicksand, the mud. God damn!
That is sad.
Fuck my shit up as a child.
Oh, if we're going animals, what about Scarlet's Web? Fucking
Charlotte's Web.
Charlotte's Web.
We're just fucking up things right now. If we're going with animals, what about your horse in Red Dead Redemption 2? I mean, we're going with video
Oh.
games now, but
Nah, I killed that
Oh,
fucker every
yeah,
chance I get.
oh wait,
that's
JP,
fucking-
JP hasn't played it yet. No spoilers.
No, I haven't played the second one yet. I mean, it's fucking time enough, man.
I mean, we don't have to talk about the horse. I mean, the horse is
Sucks
the
when
whole.
you're- sucks when animals die though, and then like any movie, TV show, or video game.
Last of Us 2. If we're gonna do another video game.
Yeah. Yeah, Joel.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
How about Avengers Endgame? You got Tony Stark on there. The end, another example of like the end of a saga
That was
for a
less,
long running character.
Yeah, it was less like
That was-
sad and more like, what the fuck just happened?
It was also like
Yeah.
awesome because like
Yeah.
that scene was just really cool, and he kills
Yeah.
Thanos and everyone.
In the
He went out
exact
with
same
a bang.
That was a
vein.
great
So
ending.
it's like mixed. That seems like mixed emotions.
Yeah, in the exact same vein, Randy Quaid dying in Independence Day.
Ooh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Badass, epic, and out of fucking absolutely nowhere.
Yeah, that one's pretty dope. Did you see the alternate version where he's flying the crop duster up to and
Yeah,
not,
I've
and
seen
not
that.
like
Which
an
makes
actual
even
like,
less sense.
I almost wish that was in it because that made no sense
he just
whatsoever.
fucking comes out of nowhere. Hey boys, I'm back.
Hello, boys. I love that.
Oh man.
Epic.
I always thought,
then-
like, when I watched that movie, I always thought when he goes, get on the horn, tell him how to kill these sons of bitches, that he told everyone to go fly a plane up into the little thing. There was like, what are people
Kamikazes!
lining up to fly a plane into it? Dumbass kid. Oh, man.
Doug, you had a couple other comic book ones on here. You want to talk about them?
Yeah, I couldn't not have Into the Spider-Verse on here. Peter Parker. dying towards the
Yeah.
beginning of the movie was very unexpected for me because I don't start a Spider-Man movie being like, oh, Spider-Man killed.
Yeah.
And it's carries like emotional weight through like the beginning of the movie, with the whole city finding out that Spider-Man is Peter Parker and mourning the loss of Peter Parker and the hero of New York City. One in there. I didn't put this though. I was thinking about it for going down the comic book movie, Dark Knight Rises.
Not remotely
starting to move
emotional,
into
but absolutely hilarious.
It elicited an emotion. It just wasn't sadness.
It wasn't the reaction Christopher
Yeah.
Nolan was looking for.
No.
Talia al Ghul's performance, which I think anyone of the four of us could probably have delivered a more memorable death than the I'm dead.
Oh man, there are so many funny videos for that one online.
It is beyond.
Are there? I haven't seen any of them, but
Oh yeah, I'll have
I
to
need
send you
to.
one after this. There's one with like the Dark Knight music, and it just keeps having her like every dun 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 is her like dying. It's really good.
That's so funny.
just like there's got to
Um,
be a recut of The Dark Knight Rises where it makes it campier. It's the Bane performance and Talia al Ghul dying just works even more.
Yeah, it fits in better with the rest of the film.
That's definitely got to
So
be
yeah.
one of the funniest deaths I've ever seen.
So let's go into some other funny ones then. The Other Guys. That has one of like the all-time funny death scenes with The Rock and Samuel L. Jackson. Just because
So good.
it comes out of nowhere and it is as ridiculous as it could possibly be.
Think what I'm thinking? Aim for the bushes. And then they play fucking hero as they're falling down.
Yeah, you got Foo Fighters playing, and they just don't make the bushes.
There wasn't even an
It wouldn't
awning.
even be possible. Even if they landed in bushes, they would have died.
I fucking love that so much.
They are so high up.
It was like a
the movie,
skyscraper.
the first 15 minutes of the movie, they just present them as like the best, like most badass cops in the world, and then you just kill them, and then you got Mark Wahlberg again, Will Ferrell taking their mantle for the rest of the film.
It's so good.
Absolutely classic.
Oh,
I put,
American Psycho.
Oh, American Psycho, Paul Allen, when he's doing the whole Huey Lewis in the news. Oh, it's so good. It builds up. It's suspenseful, but at the same time, absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, it's like a perfect example of doing like a violent death, like a funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it really is. It just the
Yeah.
little dance that Christian Bale does is amazing. Yes, I
Yeah.
do, Paul.
Yeah,
Oh,
like he's
man.
so
Was he,
into that,
Putting
and then
on
he
his-
just axes him to death. Jared Leto.
It's so good.
Yeah, he like doesn't he like put down newspaper and everything too to like
Yeah, like the
He's
whole
setting up
apartment's
his
covered
picture
in
of the blood.
plastic.
He's setting up the murder scene right behind. It's like if Dexter was fucking setting up his kill room while in the middle of a conversation with somebody he's gonna kill.
He's dancing. He puts on like the clear raincoat. Oh, I love that.
it's good.
Doug, you had another you were about to throw out.
Yeah, I put Jurassic Park and the blood sucking lawyer.
Classic.
It's like kind of funny, kind of crazy too, because it's the big scene for the
Yeah, even the
Fucking-
lawyer didn't deserve that.
Yeah,
knocking
it's like-
down,
That's like the showpiece of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
knocks
that
down the
T-Rex
bathroom that the lawyer's hiding in, and T-Rex just fucking.
That was
It's impressive because
grabs
like
him.
he's like barely, the lawyer's barely moving. Like he's shaking a little bit, but it's so weird. Like he knows he's like in there.
Yeah, that bathroom didn't move.
Yeah.
Also, can we talk about the construction and engineering of that bathroom? If they built a structure and it can just be destroyed by a Tyrannosaurus Rex, just hitting it with its nose. Come on. You
Yeah,
could-
like barely hit it too, and then just like falls apart, and it's just him
Serious.
in the toilet.
You built a theme park with dinosaurs in it. You'd think you'd make the building somewhat dinosaur proof.
They spent all their money on the park.
All you need to do is punch the wall and the whole thing falls down.
It looked like it was made of fucking bamboo when it gets destroyed. Like
straw and
Yeah.
bamboo.
Yeah.
Yeah, the hurricane would have taken it out if the
Seriously.
T-Rex didn't. But I always think it was kind of funny just because he's on the toilet and Jeff Goldblum has that line afterward or before he gets eaten where he's like, "You gotta go, you gotta go."
Oh,
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if there's a giant T-Rex out there.
Yeah.
Classic.
And some other funny ones. Commando has at least like 3 that I can think of.
Oh my god.
And it all has to do with Arnold's like fucking punchlines that either take place right before or right after. We've got
the airplane,
Airplane
one.
death.
we got the airplane one where he's dead tired after he so loudly puts the guy in a headlock, choking him,
He bashes his head against the seat too, like 4 times.
breaking his neck. Then we've got the one where he drops Sully off the edge of the road. He's, "I thought you weren't going to kill me." He's like, "I lied," or something like that. And then the one with Bennett at the end of the movie, the main bad guy, where he throws the fucking steam pipe, which would burn the fuck out of Arnold's hand, through his chainmail right through his
Chainmail?
chest.
It was there for
And,
a reason.
Yeah, and he's got the killer let off some steam Bennett line.
Yeah. There's one more, and he doesn't have a good quip, but he just grabs that guy and goes "Wah, wah, wah, wah," and just snaps his neck. That's that one sticks out to me, I think, the most, other than the let off some steam.
Yep, that's a good one.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Commando
And then
was
we had-
filled with great corny deaths.
Oh yeah, so many of them. Doug, you still need to watch this fucking movie.
You really do.
I do need to watch it. It sounds awesome. Sounds hilarious.
Not even sarcastic. It sounds awesome.
It's a classic.
Yeah, I mean it's such an underrated Schwarzenegger movie.
It sounds like it requires like some alcohol and.
Oh my god,
It's
man.
definitely a positive. Yeah.
We would have a blast watching this movie with alcohol.
Yep.
I mean, we had a blast watching this movie when we were like 10 years old with no alcohol.
It's true.
But yeah, it would be really fucking funny from start to finish. I mean, you got Alyssa Milano with fucking Arnold feeding deer in the beginning of the movie, while Arnold's carrying giant tree logs. Like it's a beautiful film.
The dad from fucking Night at the Roxbury is the villain.
Yeah.
I just saw him in an episode of
Dan
Cheers the
Hedaya.
other night too.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah,
Daya.
yeah, Dan Hedaya or Hedaya. Good character actor.
Yeah.
And then one last funny one, Jason X.
Oh, second
had
week in a row.
Second week in a row we're talking about this film. This classic from 2002. Had 2 awesome deaths in it. One played for laughs, one just incredibly inventive. The one for laughs being where it's a play on like a earlier Friday the 13th movie where he kills someone in a sleeping bag. But in this one, he takes the person that's in a sleeping bag and is smacking them against a tree while they're in the sleeping bag.
And then he hits the other person in the sleeping bag with the person in the sleeping bag.
Yes.
Yeah.
They do it so well, too, because they set the scene up and then they pan to something else that's mildly serious and then come back to the scene and he's just beating the shit out of these.
And this is when they're in like a
holograms.
virtual reality of Camp Crystal Lake.
Yeah, so there's just like holograms of, apparently they have masks to them, though. And he's just beating the shit out of them against trees.
Super funny. Don't those 2 girls start out being topless in that scene too?
Yeah, they put him in that simulation to keep him busy while they're doing something else. Yeah. Oh man,
that was classic. And then it has the other scene where he dunks a woman's head in liquid nitrogen, and then fucking smashes her head like on a desk.
Yeah.
And that was just like a very inventive one for the series.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna be in space and it's gonna be all sciencey, yeah, liquid nitrogen, solid murder weapon.
Yeah.
I was just thinking though, like once the head's in liquid nitrogen, they're dead.
Oh yeah,
You're
but
just kinda like-
you're just being
And it's just like kind of for
more of a
show at
dick.
that point.
Yeah, you're just being a dick afterwards.
Show off.
Dude, there's also a really brutal one. The one person gets sucked out of the tiny hole in the spaceship.
It gets like a classic alien type death.
Oh, and they put like little
Not
bits
fun.
of people on it. As
Yeah.
oh god, I forgot about
Not
that.
fun at all.
Fuck that one. Ooh.
And then what about shocking deaths? What do we got on here for that?
Well, I had
JP, I think you threw a good one on there.
yeah, Eli from There Will Be Blood with the whole I drank your milkshake and then just proceeds to beat Paul Dano to death with a fucking bowling pin.
That was an iconic one.
Yeah. I remember
Mostly
watching
for
that
just
movie.
it's just so strange.
Yeah, I
Like,
did not
I-
expect it to end
The
like
whole
that.
I drink your milkshake and then going right into killing them. It's just like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Did not see it
I don't think
coming.
I've seen this movie. I've just seen that scene a million times.
It's a good
Oh,
movie.
really?
It's a good movie. It's
Yeah.
just really, really slow, long.
Yeah, but you just got two amazing performances from those two.
Dirk's got a shout out for Nikki in Casino. I've never seen Casino.
Oh,
it's a very brutal death.
Joe Pesci. Joe
Yeah.
Pesci's
Yeah,
brother.
his death that was brutal.
Yeah, that was like a truly horrifying scene to watch of mob violence.
Yeah.
Where they're beating Joe Pesci's brother to death with I think baseball bats,
Yikes.
and throw him in a ditch, and then obviously Joe Pesci's up next. So he just has to watch his brother get murdered. That one's brutal. Yeah, I mean, in Goodfellas too, with the shine box scene.
Yeah.
Go get your shine box and stabbing him to death. Was it Paul
In the
Vincent?
stomach, yeah.
Or whatever his name is from Sopranos and all those
Mhm.
movies. All right, Corey, you had one from Star Wars.
Yeah.
For shocking.
Supreme Leader Snoke when he gets chopped in half. Coming off of that electrifying, amazing action scene with Adam Driver and whatever her name is. Forgot her name. Played right.
Daisy Ridley.
Daisy Ridley. There you go. Yeah, and then Snoke gets cut in half. It's no one expected it. I know I certainly didn't.
Yeah, because I didn't expect them to fucking murder the plot in that movie. Because that's exactly what happened. Is they killed any chance they had at having a cohesive plot with that stupid fucking scene. God, I hate that fucking movie.
I personally love this scene. I thought it was really fucking cool. Caught me by surprise. It was definitely my favorite scene in Last Jedi, that whole throne room scene. But I can understand why other people wouldn't enjoy it. I can definitely understand why it was divisive.
Stupid. I hate that movie.
I mean, Rise of Skywalker was a shit show anyway, so it's fine.
Dirk brought up a good one that I found shocking, and it depressed me, and I hated it. And in Jurassic World, when that poor assistant, whose only job is to be tormented by these little shit kids, gets picked up by a pterodactyl and thrown and eaten in the water.
She gets
Stupid death.
easily the worst death in the movie.
Seriously.
The most it's like brutal. It's the worst. It's the most brutal death in the series outside of the one dude flipped up in the air by the T-Rex and ripped in half by the two T-Rexes
Eddie Carr,
in the Lost
yeah.
World. Eddie Carr, yeah. Those are the two most brutal ones in the series.
Yeah, dude, fuck that. As soon as I saw that, I was like, you guys stepped over a fucking line.
Yeah, they're having way too much fun with like killing a perfectly innocent like woman
Yeah.
who was like not a bad guy.
And what does it honestly bring to the story or the movie other than, like, oh, the dinosaurs, they're fucking they're relentless, they'll kill. Yeah, I get it. They kill Jimmy Buffett. Cuz Jimmy Buffett was in that goddamn movie. Kill Jimmy Buffett. Then we know they're relentless.
While he's running away with his margarita.
Yeah, if they
Can't
took
kill
his
Jimmy Buffett.
margarita and then killed him, then we know they're in business. Dude off camera. Yeah, that one I really hated. That bothered me a lot.
And then someone on here threw Jon Snow. I didn't get this
I
one.
threw that.
What'd you throw it on for? Emotion or surprise?
Definitely
Kind of
surprised.
shocking, right?
Yeah,
I mean that
more
kind of was
for-
unexpected.
I mean, of course it was emotional, but it was more surprise because ended, and I was like, all right, well, Is he gonna come back?
Yeah, I
could.
would. Like, I wouldn't
But-
include just because I was like so confident he would come back.
Yeah,
Because it just wouldn't make sense for the story. I mean, granted, the story ended up being crap anyway.
yeah.
So it didn't matter one way or the other. But yeah, this
The
one
way
I
he
just
goes
felt,
It
out.
was
I thought
just
this
more-
one was. I guess I thought this one was more like useless because it like I
It
was so
ended up being
confident he was going to
useless.
come back.
Yeah.
But when the
Yeah, I thought of it-
the kid just like straight up stabs him out of nowhere. That was kind of
Yeah, I thought of it
shocking.
more
I
as
didn't
like the
expect that.
execution. Like
If
it
we're
was
ta-
shocking the way it happened.
If we're talking Game of Thrones, I think you got to go Red Wedding,
Red Wedding. Yeah.
and the
Ned
Viper,
too.
Ned Stark.
Ned and the Viper. Those are probably your three biggest ones on the show.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, the
'Cause
Viper.
the Viper one, it was
That was horrifying.
shocking in how brutal it was out of nowhere.
Yeah.
The Red Wedding,
Yeah,
was
and
just
Oberyn
one of the
is,
most
like,
iconic scenes. Yeah,
On
Oberyn's
top.
yeah, he's dominating the
Like-
fight, and oh my god, the way he dies is so horrible.
Yeah.
And then Ned just kind of shows the show is not going to pull any punches. Anyone can die, unless you're certain people.
Even Sean
Um,
Bean.
Yeah, even Sean Bean.
Oh.
Yeah, they can die. Anyone can die if
He
you
does
haven't read
hurt.
the book and didn't already know he was going to die.
Yeah.
Speaking of Sean Bean dying,
Died a lot.
Boromir dying
Ooh.
in Lord of
Yeah.
the Rings.
Good one.
It's a hell of a
Yep.
hell of a death too. If you want a heroic going out death, guy's got 5 arrows in him. He's still killing orcs. So good.
Yeah,
Still
yeah.
good
That's
Sean
I
Bean.
guess that's probably the most. Is that the most iconic one in Lord of the Rings trilogy? Deaths, probably right.
Gotta be.
Yeah, probably.
There's
Gandalf
John Noble.
dies, but then he comes back.
There's John Noble running off the
Yeah, that's the...
running off the castle on fire.
I don't know why that's so funny, but
That
that was
might
like,
be one of the most unintentionally funny ones.
oh my god. Yeah, that one was
Right now, I'm
outstanding.
also thinking of Eric being on fire and Billy Madison, but he doesn't die.
classic
Anytime the
Eric.
character's like running on fire, it's like really funny.
Someone should edit in Billy Madison laughing at him as he's running off the cliff on fire.
I'd be surprised if no one's done that yet
Oh,
in,
they got
in the last 18 years.
That's so funny.
All right. Any other ones that anyone has mentioned on Twitch or that you want to shout out? I'd say the end of Raiders, all the Nazis' faces melting was one of the most shocking ones.
Yeah.
I didn't see that coming when I was a kid. Quint dying in Jaws was one of the more traumatic ones when I was a kid. How brutal that one was,
We had
and him like making it so close to the end.
Yeah, we had a shout out for Bruce Willis in Armageddon. That was a pretty emotional scene. I didn't want Bruce Willis to die as a child because I didn't know who Ben Affleck was, and I was like, let him die. Bruce Willis is, but obviously Bruce Willis had to die because it was their last day of filming for him. It was already the 4th day of filming. He's gone 2 days over, so he's got to get out and do other things, obviously. So it's like, all right, we're going to rewrite the script. I'm going to die on the meteor because then I don't have to film anymore.
I was watching a clip on Twitter yesterday from Armageddon, and the commentary track from it. Ben Affleck's like kind of drunk, and he's just like, "Yeah, I was talking to Michael Bay, and I'm like, why would NASA train oil people to go to space versus the oil people training the astronauts to do it?" And Michael Bay just told me to shut the fuck up. He wasn't having it at all.
Oh, that's so funny.
Oh man, that's is there really? That's not the commentary.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch the commentary. Sounds better than the actual movie.
Yeah, no, this is like classic commentary from the late 90s.
Oh man,
I thought it
I've
was
got to find that.
so ridiculous.
We had a shout out for Aim for the Bushes before we even said it. So boom, boom. And then Kate shouted out. I'm gonna mispronounce this name because it's French. Eponine, whoever's death, the French person's death in Les Miserables, which I've not seen.
Mm.
Who plays is that like Anne Hathaway or something?
That's what I was thinking it was Anne Hathaway, but couldn't swear by that.
I've probably
Um,
listened to this soundtrack 400 times in my mother's car, but not the fucking Russell Crowe one, but the Broadway one. But I still can't
No,
pronounce
it's not.
anyone's names.
Anne
Oh,
Hathaway.
Andy threw out Tars from Interstellar, the robot.
True. Tars, that's a real.
Robot shouldn't die either. That's always emotional.
Yeah.
Then we've got Sirius Black and Harry Potter. That was definitely one of the most emotional in that series of deaths.
And Robert Pattinson.
Gary Oldman's the man. The panda in Tropic Thunder. What was
when
what
Ben,
was that one?
Ben Stiller
The one where
kills
he
the
makes
panda
clothing.
and he wears it.
Oh yeah, then he's
Uh,
like wearing the panda.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, I killed it. So would you kill a hooker? What? No, I killed the panda.
Will Ferrell, Mustafa from Austin Powers,
Dude, he's still
even
not
though he
dead.
doesn't die. But
he gets
still
to like die
classic.
multiple times.
Man.
Yep, that's a good one. All right. So yeah, there's a lot. We
Yeah,
probably can do this for like a solid hour, just running through other ones. But we'll let you guys throw any additional ones up here, comment later or
Yeah,
whatever.
comment. Let us know. What's your all time
Yeah.
favorite movie death? Be
Yeah,
funny,
it's an endless list.
emotional.
And now let's
Maybe
get
if we
into.
did enough, we could just do a part 2 on the movie.
Oh yeah,
death.
most definitely. No reason we can't. It's a fun one to talk about since even when they're emotional, we still find ways to joke about them.
Oh, there's some really, really silly ones too, like Troll 2 we can talk about.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh my
we'll
God.
see.
But yeah, let's get into our Suicide Squad death predictions.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically what we're doing here is the winner of these predictions will get to pick the next film in the Live Breathe Film Club. That next movie is the category is going to be like an R-rated bloodbath type movie. So in the spirit of the Suicide Squad, so like a Commando, like a movie like that.
I was instantly thinking it could be Commando.
Yeah. So yeah, what we'll do is what do we say, JP? Every one that we get correct is going to be a point.
Yeah, I think we'll just do that. I think we're pretty. I think we've all picked pretty different answers. For
Okay,
most of them.
cool.
So I think we'll be okay with everyone you get right is a point. So there's 11
Cool.
points in total, and just go from there. I'm gonna throw it up
Yeah.
in here, and then
So
we're
we
gonna.
did it based on character posters. So it doesn't have everyone, but it's got all the ones that are like going to be tougher to predict. Because there's other certain characters where we're like, okay, this person's going to die. There's like we don't need a Pete Davidson
Yeah.
one. That's like an easy point for everyone.
Yeah, Pete Davidson, Flula Borg is Javelin. Like they're probably gonna die right within the first couple minutes of the movie, I would imagine. Same thing with some of those other characters that are like Nathan Fillion's probably gonna die too.
Yeah.
But these are the ones that they have actual character posters for. So I would assume there's like a 50% chance that they either live or die.
Perfect. And then JP made a graphic for this one. So we'll put our picks up on social and then also have a free, a blank one for you guys to add in your own picks. You could do it on like an Instagram story, tag us, and we'll repost it and mention how you performed as well on our next episode.
Yeah, we got a nice little leaderboard.
Exactly.
A nice little scoreboard at the end. See who did the best.
Yeah, so our next episode should be probably in like 2 weeks. That'll probably be right around when Suicide Squad comes out. So it might even be the week after that where we'll be talking about this. But we'll figure that out. Yeah, let's get into our picks now. I guess what we can do is we'll go through each character, and then each of us will talk about whether they think they'll live or die, give rationales, things like that. But everyone's picks are already set, so there's gonna be no people changing them or anything like that.
If you can see the screen, Murph, I think I put them in different orders on the screen than I did in the document, so maybe we should do them the same way it's up on the screen here.
Okay.
I just put the
Got
little
it.
I just put the little graphic up here just so everyone can see who we're talking about.
Cool. All right, so we'll start with probably the biggest character in this series, Harley Quinn, Margot Robbie. What do we think? What's going to happen to Harley?
Think she's
Corey?
I think she'll survive, but I did think about her potentially dying in this. It would be unexpected. And, with James Gunn, a lot of times he does things that are unexpected, so I don't know. But I'm still going with that she'll survive.
That
Yeah, it
made me
looks like
think about
all
things.
four.
Yeah, that made me think about things a lot more. We gotta know who our director is and who came up with this story. So you gotta assume that no one's off limits.
Mhm.
Yeah.
DCEU's in fucking shambles. They'll kill anyone.
Margot Robbie
No.
said that she wasn't sure if she was going to be playing Harley Quinn anytime soon again. I remember reading that recently, so it got me thinking. But I'm going to go with that.
Yeah, it looks like all four. We don't necessarily need to go through our individual picks for this one since all four of us are thinking she will live. I think it was the name that, like, both the character name and the actress, those two things combined just seem like she's the closest thing to probably untouchable in this movie, I would say.
Yep.
But anything can happen.
True.
Next up, we have our protagonist of the film, Bloodsport, played by Idris Elba. How we looking here? Looks like I am the
Yeah, I think you're the only
dissenting.
one.
I'm the dissenting vote. Everyone has him living except for me.
Why do you think he's gonna die?
I think his story's too similar to Will Smith. So, like, in the last ones, so they got didn't Will Smith have a daughter in the last one?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're going to go in the opposite direction, and then he's not going to get home to his daughter, but he's going to come out saving the day and be like the hero to his daughter. And I think he might save. It looks like him and Ratcatcher 2 are going to have something in this, so maybe he'll save her and die in the process or something like that.
Yeah.
So that was my thinking.
All right. I think that's definitely possible.
Yeah,
And
I'd
say he's the biggest name outside of Margot Robbie. So someone big ass should die based on the types of stuff James Gunn's been saying. What were you saying, Doug?
Oh, I was just thinking like they went through all this trouble to basically make a character that's Will Smith's character, but they may just want to keep that character around this time instead of leave their options open instead of like forcing their hand to either kill off the character or just bring Will Smith back.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean, this was a tough one.
I could see it.
I
could see him
totally
dying.
see him living as well. But we shall see. Next up, we've got John Cena's Peacemaker.
Definitely
How
not
are
dying.
we looking?
Yeah, I don't think
All
anyone's
four of
got
us
him
had alive, right?
dying. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
think
think
it's
we're
kind
just
of
all-
making a
spoiled,
TV
though.
show.
I think we're just
They have
all
a show?
assuming that it's a sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true too.
But we don't necessarily know that it is. It could be a prequel. And if that is the case, then I wouldn't be surprised if he dies.
Yeah,
But
this was a tough one. I was back and forth with it, but I figured that TV show's probably got to be a sequel.
yeah. Especially since they're
Yeah,
going multiple seasons and everything too.
Why put all your eggs into the Peacemaker basket if you're gonna just kill him off? Doesn't really make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the one I actually feel the best about living.
Yeah, I think aside from Harley Quinn, I pretty much think Peacemaker's probably untouchable, but I guess we'll find out.
How about
Rick Flag?
Who we got next? Rick Flag?
Rick Flag. I think we're half and half on this one.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we are. JP and myself think he's dying, and Doug and Corey think he's living. Debate.
I think he's overstayed his welcome. I think this is going to be the one where someone turns on him and
Joel Kinnaman overstayed his welcome, you're saying?
Just Rick Flag in general, the character in the two Suicide Squad movies. I think you can only really have so many returning characters, and I don't think he's going to be one of them.
I think I don't know. I just think that even though Harley Quinn more or less is, but I feel like he's more of the glue of the group. So I just think that he'll survive because of that. He keeps the band together.
I think this is going to be the shock. I think not Bloodsport dying. I think Rick Flag dying is going to be the big shock in this one, because you would think he doesn't have a bomb in his neck. He's fairly untouchable. He makes the villains go in and do their thing, and he kind of hangs back. I don't know. I think it's gonna be one of those freak deaths that
they pull a Coulson from Avengers, and kill him off, and it brings the whole team together for the final fight.
Yeah, maybe. I was thinking like two things, like Amanda Waller like is gonna like renege on the deal or something like that, and like he isn't cool with that, and something happens because of that. Or it seems like, I mean, from the last movie and the trailers, like he has a pretty good relationship with like Harley Quinn, and he's so I could see something where like he ends up saving a villain, or his like his own conscience, and he ends up dying.
Yeah, he goes rogue, and Amanda Waller's not a big fan of that.
Yeah, I could see one of those like type situations happening.
Yeah.
And I think when a good guy dies, it will come off as more like tragic, so probably play well.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, then we've got Polka Dot Man.
You're on your own on this one too. Me, Corey, and Doug got him dying.
Really?
Yeah. Rachel Dawes is dying.
Yeah, Rachel Dawes. Rip.
Yeah, I think he's gonna end up being the hero. I think he's gonna end up like being the hero of the movie.
I do too, but I think he's gonna have a heroic death.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Well, the way that his character's played, he's like super depressed, is what I'm hearing. So like I could see him being like his life, like all his fortunes like changing based on like this movie, and he actually is like a renowned like superhero or something like that.
Yeah. The one that got me is
I was torn on that one though. Also,
there's a line in the trailer where he's like, "I'm a superhero."
Yeah,
I think he dies instantly after that line. I think it's gonna be one of those things where he's depressed the whole time. He's gonna find a reason to keep going, and then just boom, dead.
Yeah, you're probably right. It definitely would work. Like in the movie if it happens like what you're saying right now.
It'd be hilarious.
It would be pretty funny. All right, sounds like everyone agrees with what you're thinking. But next up we got Ratcatcher 2. What do we got?
Corey's the lone gun.
Live. Corey, why is Ratcatcher 2 dying?
So the thing that came to mind is very similar to with Bloodsport. I just think that instead of Bloodsport saving her, I think she's gonna save him. That's what I think.
Got it.
I think they're gonna have some type of intertwined relationship, that builds throughout the movie. It seems that way, and I think she's gonna be the one that ends up sacrificing herself.
Got it.
I think because you got a Ratcatcher 2, you can't have a Ratcatcher 3.
Why not?
Too many rat catchers.
Too many rat catchers.
So they're gonna let her live, and then kill her in a different movie, and then
kill her in her own movie.
3. Too many rat catchers. 3 is too big of a number right now.
No trilogy.
I want to change one of my.
You can't.
You can't, dude. It's already in, man.
These are locked. These are locked, Doug.
If we haven't talked about the character.
Locked.
What if we haven't talked about the character yet?
It's locked.
You're locked in.
You're locked in.
Sorry, you can tell us which. You can tell us which one you've changed your mind.
You're always flip flopping, Doug. You're doing the switcheroos.
Well, I was like, I can change it right now and no one would know, but
probably. I mean, you definitely could.
We can see new changes.
I'm tracking changes right now. On this
I can
document.
see you're looking at Weasel right now, so I'm assuming you use the one you want to change.
Murph will call it out.
Next up, we got King Shark. So we got our first of our two like CGI type characters.
Yep.
Are we all predicting Corey's dead. All right.
Okay.
And everyone else is alive.
I'm conflicted with this, but I'll explain my rationale when we
Go
get
for
to
it.
it.
Well,
We're
But,
on it
at
now, so go for it.
Well, we didn't talk about the other character. I'm in between if Weasel and King Shark.
Oh no,
No, we're not
we're
on
talking about King
Weasel's
Shark.
later.
No, I know that, but this is my rationale.
Okay.
The two CG characters, I'm unsure if both of them will die or both of them will live.
Mm.
That's really.
So you were just
but-
picking between the CGI characters. You think one's gonna live, no, you have both
Yeah.
of them dying.
Yeah. And that's what I
Okay.
ended up
Okay,
shooting.
interesting. So death to all CGI characters then.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
Interesting.
I think he's too lovable. He's Sylvester Stallone. He's a big giant shark. He's stupid. Just
Yeah, King Shark's like pretty popular. That's what I
Yeah,
was thinking. King
like
Shark's pretty popular, and it's pretty easy for Stallone to record.
And I think he's gonna
kinda
be
why
like a lot of people are gonna like the character and like
Yeah.
they'll want to use him again.
yeah.
But maybe they'll use us liking him as a reason to kill him to get emotion.
Maybe.
All right, then we got Thinker.
yeah.
Oh, we're mixed on this one. 2 and 2. Reasoning.
I think he's gonna be the false villain. I think it's gonna be one of those things where you think they're going in to get the Thinker, they're interrogating him in the trailer, and he's gonna turn out to not be so bad. And sort of just like outsmart everyone and get away. It's kind of how I feel like his storyline's gonna go. I think it'd be too easy to kill him. He just got a bunch of like corn cobs sticking out of his head.
Yeah, I saw Peter Capaldi as like I'm familiar with him from Doctor Who, because he was Doctor Who for a little while. I see him as like a one and done guy. Like I'll do this one movie and then I'm gonna move on to something else, another. So that's why I thought he would probably die. Is I just see the actor as being like doing this character over and over, and I think I can see him just.
Yeah, I saw him as someone who's kind of like forced to help, and then he ends up dying for his troubles.
Yeah. It makes sense. I was just sort of thinking it's one of those things where I expect him to die, so he's probably going to live.
Yeah, that's fair.
This thing had me questioning my own thoughts a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like that.
Then we've got Captain Boomerang. Doug's the only one who thinks he's surviving.
God, Doug, I hope you're right, man. I really hope you're right. They're going to take him away from me.
Yeah, I think he's done.
Guy's such a good character.
Yeah.
I just felt good about him surviving for some reason. Didn't he die in the first?
No, he gets away.
No.
Oh, he got away.
Yeah. I think he
I
sneaks
don't know.
off or something like that in the first one.
You're thinking of what's his name? Taboo? Is that his name? Who dies?
Diablo?
No, the other guy. I
Fuck
forget
is
his name.
Sup?
Taboo?
I think his name's Taboo.
I
or
can't
something.
I don't
really
think
remember
anyone's
much
name
of-
was
yeah.
Taboo.
You're thinking of a game.
Are you thinking of
Taboo.
Slipknot? Because Slipknot dies within the first 10 minutes.
I don't know who I was thinking of, but yeah, what was his name? Captain Boomerang.
Captain Boomerang.
He's such a fun character. You can't kill the guy off.
He's wonderful.
I mean, you can. It would just be unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think if somebody's gonna die from the first movie, it's gonna be him.
Yep. Probably. And it's not like they're going to use him in a Flash movie because he's a Flash villain. Even though it would be fucking great, but they've already made that Flash movie. It's going to be, in a different universe, so. Figured they're done with Jai Courtney, who was
Yeah, the
born to play this
multiverse,
role.
Then we've got Savant, played by Michael Rooker.
We all had to
Bonnie.
be aligned on this, right?
Savant ain't dying.
Savant's dead as
no, we're
fuck,
not.
dude.
We're not aligned. We're 3 deads, and Corey thinks he's living.
Dude, James Gunn, I feel like does everything
Gunn
in his
kill-
power to kill him.
James Gunn always kills my
Yeah.
Joker. That's why I immediately thought he was dying.
That's
He
why I
dies
did
in
too.
Slither horribly. He dies in Super horribly, and he dies in Guardians of the Galaxy, too.
Well, he made it through the first
We
movie.
made it through the
It's
first
true.
movie, but I don't think we're gonna get a second Suicide Squad from James Gunn. So
Yeah, I don't think so
Um,
either.
yeah, that was what I was thinking. Or why do you think he's living?
For that exact reason, I just think that he gets killed in a lot of James Gunn's movies. I think it's going to do something unexpected.
James Gunn's trying to throw us off the scent.
He is.
Yeah.
And that's it. He was waiting for hear our predictions, and it's like, got you, bastards.
You thought it had a pattern.
Yeah. Little do
I
you
just
know,
think
I
he's-
don't.
I think he's also a character that just could end up surviving.
All right.
Because he's a savant.
And then lastly, we have Weasel, played by Sean Gunn,
Yeah.
Uh,
Sean Gunn plays
the
two
other- our
characters in
others-
this movie.
our other CGI one.
Did
Who's
you
his
see
other one?
He's so there's a screenshot. He is Calendar Man.
Oh,
Really?
really?
Yeah,
Nice.
there's a screenshot of Calendar Man. He's bald and he's got the months tattooed
That's
around
awesome.
his head.
That's awesome.
And then there's another one that's like double shot or double take or double down. Double down is I guess one of the Flash's villains or something like that. And there's another, so they're sprinkling little shitty villains here and there in this movie. It seems like, which
That's
I
cool.
like.
That's cool.
But yeah, second
Um,
character.
Doug, was
Is,
this-
Plays.
Is Weasel is he going to speak? Do we know anything, or does he just and like animate and that's it? Because never really heard him talk in anything.
I wouldn't be
Not sure.
shocked if they had Sean Gunn just play a motion captured animal
Yeah,
that
yeah.
doesn't speak. He just
Yeah.
makes noises the whole time.
I just assumed he would talk.
Doug, was this the one you were going to switch over from Dead to Live?
Yeah, because I realized like while we were talking, it like hit me that it was Sean Gunn that was voicing.
Yeah.
We-
That's why I'm having him live.
And I was like, he's not gonna kill off his.
I
So
think-
that's
think
why I
he's
was
gonna-
like, God damn it, I should change it.
It was that, and I think he's going to be the most scummy of all the characters. And I think James Gunn's the type of person that will have a real scumbag live, as like a non-traditional type decision.
Yeah. I
Oh.
I see one of the CGI characters dying, and I think it's probably more Weasel than that. Especially since Sean Gunn plays another character in the movie.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I think I could see him killing it. And just Weasel seems like one of those things that's just gonna die inconsequentially. Like jump in front of a laser beam or something like that and just get fucking blown up. Or
Mhm.
maybe he comes back at the end of the movie, like you think he's dead, and then he shows up at the end.
He's actually the villain.
Maybe.
He's pulling all the strings.
I don't
But
think so.
based on these predictions, JP, I think you're gonna win. I think it's gonna be between you and Doug.
I don't know. You made some pretty convincing arguments for your picks. They're a little. I think you have some of the riskier picks.
Mine
but I
are a
think they
little,
could
yeah, mine
pay
are a little
off.
too bold, in my opinion. But like,
I
I
don't
agree
know,
with a
it's
lot of
anyone's
like the
game on this.
secondary and tertiary type characters that you
Yeah.
guys have. That's why I think like you guys are probably either you or Doug will pull it out.
I think we had a pretty good spread, though. I don't think anyone really. I mean,
wasn't
someone's
much
gonna win,
overlap.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I'm
and
very interested.
we'll do some sort of, if it does somehow end up in a tie, we'll figure out a tiebreaker.
Yeah, Roshan. We'll just we'll fight to the death.
That's fair. That's
Probably,
a good
right?
tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Live on Twitch.
I'm interested to see like what people out there like Dirk and Kate and all of our lovely listeners have to think who's gonna survive this movie.
And Andy, don't forget Andy.
And Andy, I want to see someone that's like dead set on Harley Quinn dying. I want someone to sell me that. Are we gonna see Margaret Robbie die? I don't think so, but that'd be pretty fucking bold.
But yeah, this movie's out in a few weeks, so we want to hear your predictions, and then when we're done, when the movie's out, we've all seen it, we will reveal who won this little pool, and we'll find out what movie they're going to pick for our next installment of the Live Breathe Film Club. It'll be a R-rated bloodbath type film.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for that one. But that is all we've got for today. thank you as always for listening. We're going to be covering 2017 in our yearly film series right after this. It's on YouTube and Twitch live, and then so if you missed this one, if you're seeing this after the fact, you can come on in next week or our next episode to watch 2018 when we do that one live. But after the fact, it'll be on YouTube as it both as a in the full episode and as its own bonus segment. Since we have our streams fully available to watch on YouTube. But yeah, on our next episode, we're going to continue the DC theme by drafting our own DC super team. So this will kind of go hand in hand as well with Suicide Squad's release date. But yeah, as always, this has been Corey, Doug, JP, and Murph at Live Breathe Film. We'll see you again next time, movie lovers. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
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 Alrighty.
All right, Dirk says Peacemaker's the only one surviving.
Damn, bold prediction.
Bold. It's a lot of red in that one.
No one survives.
There's a lot of red in James Gunn's ledger.
There is. He was given Kate Blanchett to kill whoever he wanted, so I believe in him.
All right, what do you say we should get it right into 2017?
2017, shitty year for movies.
I know we got a couple of you guys going to the office tomorrow, or at least one of you.
Yeah.
Doug, you're home. You're home tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm home tomorrow, and the wife is at a conference all week. So.
Wow! Look at you, late
Home
night,
alone.
Doug.
Yeah.
They're like Macaulay Culkin over there.
All right.
Ordering your cheese pizzas and having some ice cream Sundays.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy over here right now.
Good for you. All right. Well, let's still get into 2017 despite that. We've got some interesting picks on here. We don't know what Doug's actually picking. We'll find
Doug,
out.
you better
in a
pick the
little
first
bit.
one on your list because I already downloaded the damn
All right,
poster
here.
for it. You locked in.
He should do Mummy just because some other people have already thrown in his other 3 movies.
But I didn't download the Mummy.
Because you didn't think you'd ever have to talk about the
I
Mummy.
didn't think I would ever have to. I'm just gonna write the fucking Mummy.
The Mummy.
Corey, talk about your shitty movie.
This is actually a fantastic movie, JP. It's directed by Steven Spielberg. So I went with The Post. I actually do really like this movie. I saw it once. I remember going into it. I wasn't. I think Murph. I think you told me it was good, but it wasn't
Sounds about
something
right.
It wasn't something I immediately, was chasing after seeing. But I watched it on demand somewhere, and I did enjoy it. It's about the Washington Post scandal that happened back in the 60s, 70s, something like that.
It's about Watergate.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw this.
Tom Hanks, and who else is in it?
Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep, right? Yeah. Directed by Steven
There's
Spielberg.
a shit ton of people in this movie. It's a real
Yeah.
star-studded cast.
Yeah, it's
But
got.
they're the 2 headliners.
And I remember enjoying it for the most part. Kind of like another mark on Steven Spielberg's checklist of different types of genre films or different types of films that he does. This was pretty different than a lot of things that he normally does. I think a lot of the actors that he's worked with, but different type of film, and I did enjoy it.
And he rushed this one into production because of all the fake news stuff that was going on. He wanted to talk about how the news is an important institution. So that was interesting
Yeah.
backstory behind the film being made.
Oh, and John Williams did the score for this.
Yep.
So it continues that.
Yeah, might be the last one he ever does for him because he didn't do Ready Player One. He's not doing West Side Story. Spielberg's not doing Indiana Jones. We'll see what happens with Spielberg's next one.
Yeah, that's definitely really interesting if that ends up happening. This movie was also nominated for a lot of awards, which I didn't realize until now. Best actor, motion picture, actress, I think, drama. But
And Meryl Streep gets nominated for everything, so that would make sense.
that's true.
This felt like a very like Oscar bait movie
Yeah, it definitely
when I
did.
watched it.
Yeah.
It like checked all the boxes for to be nominated, if not win some Oscars.
Yeah, it was probably one of the better movies that came out that year, I would say.
Yeah, it was definitely an enjoyable one. They make topics that wouldn't necessarily be the most exciting thing. Pretty exciting. All right. Doug, we already spoiled that you're talking about the Mummy. Explain to us why you're talking about the Mummy.
Now
This
the
is not
movie,
Brendan Fraser.
You
This
guys
is not
took every
Brendan
other
Fraser.
movie. You guys took every other movie I picked off the list.
There's so
No,
few movies this
the
year.
beginning of the Universal Monster Universe, the cinematic universe that they were
Dark
going.
universe.
The Mummy launched the dark. Well, failure to launch the dark universe.
Was that what it was called? The Dark
Launched
Universe?
launched
Yeah.
and ended the Dark Universe.
They had it had Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, Russell Crowe pop in.
But he was just Dr. Jekyll in this, right?
No, he also turns into Mr. Hyde.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he turns. Yeah.
They had a lot
Yeah,
of
he
people like cast for other movies, like Javier Bardem. I think was supposed to be Frankenstein's monster or some shit.
Oh, that would be
Yeah.
so good.
Was it Invisible Man with
They had Bride of Frankenstein as somebody. I forget. They removed. Well, I mean, it's not. The Invisible Man was its own thing because they already canceled Dark Universe.
wasn't it originally supposed to be part
Yeah,
of
Johnny Depp was supposed to play Invisible Man.
and then they had to change it.
Yeah, they
turned
were
it
gonna.
into
This was
its
gonna
own
be like.
Blumhouse R-rated type movie instead.
This was gonna be like the launch of the MCU, basically, but for
Yeah,
for this like dark universe
Universal monsters.
of Universal. Yeah, which is like I don't know who came up with that, but that probably wasn't the greatest idea. But yeah, first you gotta have like your first hit movie, and the Mummy was hopefully gonna be it, starring Tom Cruise. But I thought like a lot of the action in this movie was fun.
I didn't think that
it's
this movie was as bad as all the reviews said.
I like watching Tom Cruise like fucking run around and do crazy ass stunts, and you get that in the Mummy. The plane crash scene, I think, is one of the coolest action scenes I've seen in a movie because they actually like it's not CGI. They flew a plane up and did like nosedives to make things to give the weightlessness, and then you like perform the stunts in the weightlessness of the nosedives of the plane. So it looks like you've got Tom Cruise like floating around and stuff, and while the plane is supposed to be crashing, and it's like a pretty epic scene. Like I said, definitely one of my favorite action moments. Story's fine. It's mainly a set piece for Tom Cruise. I think Tom Cruise had like one of his guys come in that he has in all of his movies and like rewrite a lot of the script so that it was probably more Tom Cruise focused.
Like Christopher McQuarrie, who does the
Now that guy's
Mission
name is
Impossible.
Xenu, Murph. That's who he brings in to rewrite these scripts. It's Xenu, the man himself.
I don't know. It might be that guy.
Pulling it up now. Let's see. Yeah, he joined in the screenplay.
Yeah, so Tom had his boy come in and rewrite it, and probably, I don't know, possibly made it worse. I don't know what the rewrites are typically for. If they're to give Tom Cruise more stuff to look cool, or
I mean, he does like his good movies. Like he did Edge of Tomorrow, Mission Impossible 5 and 6, plus 7 and 8 coming out. Top Gun Maverick, Jack Reacher.
Yeah, he's got a good track record.
But I feel like Tom Cruise is sort of like a predator for these types of movies where he feels like he can just swoop in, make it his, and then just like sort of suck any life out of it, get a paycheck, and bounce to something else that's good.
a mummy movie shouldn't be a Tom Cruise movie. It should be a
Fuck
mummy
no.
movie.
Yeah.
Like Brendan
Yeah, this is
Fraser
definitely a
was
Tom Cruise movie.
was in a mummy movie, but like he was so good in it
So
that
good.
like you could say it was also a Brendan Fraser movie.
Like you could have remade that movie beat for beat, and it would have been such a good basis for like this overarching world that has these mystical creatures in it, because there's so much lore in the Mummy. It just works so well.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is more like Mission Impossible,
Yeah.
but in Egypt with some mystical shit going on. Jake Johnson's in this movie, so that was fun as like the sidekicky character. I like him.
I'll have to check it out now. Get some Nick
but
Miller in there.
Yeah, but I think part of what helps this movie is it got just like slammed on the reviews, and I watched it and found it enjoyable.
Russell Crowe was awesome.
Yeah, he was Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
He was fine. Yeah, he's doing the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde stuff. So I'm sure you guys can picture what that looks like.
I think that's the only thing I'm interested in out of this whole movie now. I might have to just go look at that clip or something.
It's
wanna
not
watch
a-
Tom
I-
Cruise to run
Watch the
around.
plane crash scene too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just
I
don't
don't
want
know.
to watch Tom
I don't
Cruise
think the
run.
movie's a complete waste of time.
I mean, it is if you're like watching it because all the setup for a dark universe that never happens. So in that way, it is. But
Yeah. What's the
Yeah,
end
sure.
goal of the dark universe? Like, why do the fucking monsters come together? I
Like
want
Van Helsing.
to see a storyboard. I really do. I want to know what the fuck the progression of this was going to be.
I don't think they
Because-
had.
was it
any-
to fight Tom Cruise? Was Tom Cruise going to be the ultimate villain?
Is he
They have
allowed to
to-
play a villain?
They have to fight Van Helsing. That's got to be it.
I guess.
Played by Hugh Jackman.
Is Tom Cruise
him
the
back.
mummy? Or is
Or
the lady
Jason
the
Se-
mummy?
Or Jason Segel's puppet.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
do we want to get into spoilers or no?
Maybe talk to me after.
Okay.
Or maybe I'll just fucking watch it. I don't know.
I'm kind of
a short
intrigued
movie.
too.
It's a
Yeah.
short movie. Watch it. I think you two would mildly enjoy it.
You guys can come back and bash it.
Yeah. It's not a good movie, but it's definitely not as bad as the reviews say it is.
It's not as bad as Space Jam 2.
Corey likes Space Jam too.
All right. JP, you got a classic on here. in the
Yeah,
MCU.
I feel like I cheaped out on this a little bit, but yeah, I really couldn't find any good movies this year besides like, hey, it's a Marvel movie, it's Thor Ragnarok, but in my opinion, it's probably the best Marvel movie because it's the most entertaining, it has a great story, and it's really, really funny. There's a lot of memorable characters in it. You see the death of Odin, which is pretty crazy. I guess Anthony Hopkins didn't want to be in Marvel movies anymore. And then you just kind of see the capstone of the relationship between Loki and Thor, and it's kind of heartwarming, kind of cool. Also, Jeff Goldblum's great in it.
Yep.
And Taika just took what was hands down my least favorite set of movies in the Marvel universe and turned it on its side and gave me probably one of my favorite Marvel movies in Thor Ragnarok. Taika just revitalized the entire character, and the movie's so colorful. It's got great music in it. Just an all-around great movie.
Yeah. No argument there. I think all of us have it fairly high in our MCU rankings. Did we ever do MCU rankings on this? Like, obviously not all of them.
I don't think
But,
officially, no.
I think we have. I think we pardon me. I
Might
think we
have
did
been like in the early days.
yeah, I
I
think
don't
we
think
did
very-
all of
yeah, very
ours and
early
then
days.
averaged them together.
We did all of them and averaged them.
I think so.
I know we did that for DC.
That's something we did
Um,
back in the day.
That might have been
Yeah.
one of our like
Yeah.
5-hour episodes.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
We'll have to go back and check and see like what we can do, because if we haven't done that, maybe just do it like a top 5.
Sure.
check the
Um,
archives. I probably still have
just
the
to-
recording somewhere. If it
Yeah.
existed.
No, I mean it's on YouTube and everything. We can find them wherever we need to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone
All
go
right.
back and listen to our entire catalog and tell us if we did that.
That would be very helpful.
Get them views
Yeah.
up. Start
Dirk-
from like
I'm sure,
yes,
I'm sure Dirk remembers.
start from episode 47 and go backwards though.
That'll be
Yeah,
interesting. It'll get painful towards the end.
Yeah, you know, just do that because
Oh my god, what am I doing listening to this crap? Why are there so many pauses?
It's like JP's descent into Adam Sandler.
why
Good
does it
movie.
sound like Corey dubbed his voiceover on this whole episode?
One episode we're gonna have to talk about all like the ridiculous like flubs and shit that we've experienced on this show.
Oh yeah.
But before that, we'll go to my pick and then the extra picks. So yeah, there were so many movies that we've talked about before, so I was like, try to do something different, like, and it's gonna be more common as we get closer on these last few installments.
Yeah.
But I did never talk about this one, so and I liked it a lot. So it's Ingrid Goes West. Stars Aubrey Plaza and Elizabeth Olsen. I'd say it's a dramedy, but leaning towards the comedy side. Aubrey Plaza plays like a loser who is obsessed with social media. She's obsessed with Elizabeth Olsen's influencer personality. So then she flies out. She moves to California, like reinvent herself, and basically like starts stalking like Elizabeth Olsen's character, and then becoming friends with her. Naturally, you can expect things are going to unravel since she's basically formed like a new identity for herself out in California, like with a new like social media presence and stuff like that. Because she doesn't want to be known as who she was prior. When I believe, like she was suicidal at one point before going out to California. So it's like she's like she's got shit going on that she's dealing with, and yeah, the movie gets dark, but it also is pretty funny. And the two main characters played by Olsen and Plaza are both like very well drawn. O'Shea Jackson Jr. plays um, Aubrey Plaza's like housemate out in California. He's solid in it. Um, and then Billy Magnuson, I think his name is. He was like that clownish prince character in Aladdin, the remake. You probably would recognize him from some other stuff. He plays Elizabeth Olsen's brother, I believe, in the movie, and he's like a really good villain. Now every time I see him, I'm like, this fucking prick. But yeah, I believe it's on Hulu. That's where I had watched it a few years ago. Sorry, you were gonna say something, Doug?
No, I was just looking up the cast. It looks like Wyatt Russell's in this, and so is
yeah,
Mantis from Guardians of the Galaxy. Palm, whatever.
Yeah,
her name is.
Wyatt Russell, I believe, is Aubrey Plaza or Elizabeth Olsen's boyfriend, and Mantis is one of their friends. So yeah,
you got like a little MCU group in there.
Yeah, what do you got? What
You got three.
Three, yeah. I'm sure
It's only a matter of time before Aubrey Plaza shows up. Oh,
yeah, exactly.
No.
Yeah, and O'Shea Jackson Jr. I don't think he's been in any of them yet, but again, there's plenty of time for that. But yeah, that's my pick. If you're into something a little quirky, I recommend it. But yeah, let's get into our extra picks. A lot of superhero movies.
Yeah.
Got Logan, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Wonder Woman, and Spider-Man Homecoming, all on top of Thor Ragnarok. So this was a pretty killer year for superhero movies.
Yeah.
I mean, you got one of the best MCU movies with Thor. You got one of the best X-Men movies with Logan. One of the best DCU movies with Wonder Woman, and then two other solid MCU flicks in Spider-Man, Homecoming, Guardians 2. Maybe one of the best debuts for a solo superhero with Spider-Man, Homecoming in the MCU.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, Guardians 2 is a solid sequel. Anything in particular you guys wanted to shout out about any of these ones?
Not particularly. I saw Guardians 2 at an iPic theater in a big bubble dome, and they gave me a blanket and a pillow. That was pretty awesome.
There you go. That's nice. I haven't been to that one yet.
It's a bitch to park at.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it seems like far away. So I'm like, I
I
just never
tried
do.
going there once and I couldn't get parking anywhere.
There's a parking garage across the street which we parked in, which was all right, but driving through Fort Lee is an absolute disaster.
Yeah.
And if you miss your exit, you're in New York City.
Doug, you were going to include you were thinking of including a few of these movies of you on yours. Anything you want to say about them?
No, I mean I know Guardians isn't 2 isn't as good as 1, but I like Guardians 2. I think it's a fun movie. You got Kurt Russell and um you got
Mary
Fleetwood
Poppins.
Mac songs and
Yeah,
fun Mary Poppins reference. Um
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
yeah, I mean that's like a that and death scene too. I mean, we were talking about death scenes. I feel like that's a pretty strong
I thought about including
Michael
that
Michael
one
Rooker
as
death.
well.
Yep.
Yeah. But, and that was a character that didn't really like stand out to me in the first movie, but I thought the like arc for that character was awesome in the second one,
Agreed.
Yep.
and how he's like the father figure.
Yeah, for Quill. All right, and then we've got Edgar Wright's most recent film. So we covered all 5 of them on here. Baby Driver being his 5th one. Fun film, good music.
Yeah.
A lot of people that are like basically like banned from Hollywood now. Well, one person that's truly banned from Hollywood with Kevin Spacey.
No, he's making his own movies now.
Yeah, or he's making shit overseas. Or,
No one's ever banned from Hollywood.
yeah.
Bunch of freaks.
But yeah, super fun movie.
Yeah.
There's been talk of potentially doing a sequel at some point, but I don't think they should.
It's not worth
That's
it.
think
wild.
it was a good one and done movie.
Yeah.
And really cool car chase scenes and foot chase scenes. John Hamm, pretty badass bad guy at the end. He's basically a Terminator.
Yeah. Yeah. John Hamm was
Um,
good. All the characters are great. The soundtrack's wonderful, and it's wonderful how it plays into the movie.
Yeah,
Didn't
like we talked
see
about last
this in
week.
New York randomly? Why did we go see this?
Yeah,
in New
you,
York?
me, and Steve saw Edgar Wright was there. He did a Q&A after.
I don't remember that.
Yep, that happened.
Wow. I don't remember that. My memory is just fucking falling apart.
It was a big ass theater. I think there was a balcony. We watched the movie, and then he showed up and for like 20-minute Q&A.
Yeah. I don't remember the Q&A. I remember going there. I remember watching it. My brain's mush at this point, pretty much.
We've done a lot of cool shit over the years, so
Yep.
can't remember everything. All right, and then we've got some more picks. We've got The Upside, which was I think a lot better than I was expecting. With
Yeah, Murph, you and I saw this.
Bryan Cranston and Kevin Hart. I was pleasantly surprised by this one.
Yeah,
where
this thing looked like a shitty movie.
Bryan Cranston's a paraplegic and Kevin Hart takes care of him. They had really good chemistry in it.
Mm-hmm.
Home Again. Which one is Home Again?
I think it's like the 5th Home Alone movie.
Oh, no. Well, that didn't come out yet. It's coming out on Disney Plus.
No, this is Reese Witherspoon, Pico Alexander,
You see this one, Corey?
Michael Sheen.
Negative.
Is it on the list?
It does not have a whole lot of tomatoes.
Not a
No.
lot of tomatoes.
I hope
32
not.
tomatoes.
I mean, that's not the worst I've seen.
I think Space Jam 2 has 32 tomatoes.
It's a great film.
No.
Before I Fall.
It's got
JP.
Zoe Deutsch in it.
Oh, which one? Before I Fall?
Before I Fall, yeah.
Tell us more about it.
It's got Elena Kampouropoulos. I don't know how to say that. Samantha Kingston seems to have it all: popularity, a loving boyfriend, and a seemingly perfect future. Everything changes in the blink of an eye when she dies in a car crash, but then magically wakes up to find herself reliving the same day over and over again.
Oh, so
That
it's
actually sounds like
it's like a
yeah,
Happy
it sounds
Day
like
type.
I
This
saw
is
the
a Time
trailer.
Loop movie.
Yeah.
I
This
saw
is
the
right up
trailer.
our. This is up our
I saw
alley.
the trailer for this. This actually looked interesting.
How many tomatoes do we have?
It's got 64 tomatoes.
Oh, all right. I'm gonna add this to my list.
Not the worst. Not the worst.
We
It
might have to
says
watch it as a group.
people
Report back.
also search for it, and it has Happy Death Day. So
All right,
you
this is
go.
right up
Oh,
my alley.
Time Loop.
We're in a drought of Time Loop movies after
Yeah.
the excess of the previous year.
Are we
So
getting another Happy Death Day movie? Is this happening?
the director just did sign on to a new movie today on like a Netflix movie, I think.
Bruh, stop.
I
Make Happy
know.
Death Day 3.
I know. Fucking Jason Blum, do it. We hyped
Fucking
up this movie enough over the past year.
ass.
Yeah, hopefully it's what he does after that. But his new one has a really good cast from what I saw. All right, then we got Pitch Perfect 3. I don't think I've seen this one. So
Decent.
like, just
Not
the
as good as
first
2.
Table 19, JP.
Yes.
What is Table
So-
19?
It
Anna
stars
Kendrick.
Anna Kendrick. It's got Wyatt Russell in it. Second
Oh.
Wyatt Russell. It's got Lisa Kudrow.
It's got a good cast.
X-Men-
The
Please go
Flash
ahead. Corey.
Thompson, the kid who plays Flash Thompson
Yeah.
in
Okay.
Spider-Man, he's in it.
Craig Robinson.
Yeah.
It's got 25 tomatoes.
What is it about?
Ex-maid of honor, Eloise, having been relieved of her duties after being unceremoniously dumped by the best man via text, decides to hold her head high and attend her oldest friend's wedding anyway.
Nice.
She finds herself seated at a random table with all the mutants in the back of the ballroom with a desperate group of strangers. Yes, so she gets seated with the mutants from Table 19.
All right, I love the title.
I watched the trailer for this last night, I think, and it
That is an incredible
mildly
wedding
funny.
singer reference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Yeah.
Man, I hope I never get stuck at Table 19.
Table 19. It's a
That'll be
weird
real
table.
insulting. Next up, we have Mother, the Jennifer Lawrence fucking nightmare film. Her and Javier
Jesus.
Bardem. This
Still
one's
gotta
real,
watch
real fucked up trip. Yeah, Corey, this is right up your alley. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's like an allegory for something, but it's just Jennifer Lawrence going through hell.
Who the fuck directed this movie? He's like the biggest pompous. It's Aronofsky, right?
It's there.
The fucking biggest pompous piece of shit in the universe. Dude probably wears like a fucking knit cap when it's 105 degrees outside and a scarf because he thinks he
Probably.
looks intellectual. God.
And he got to go out with Jennifer Lawrence when he made this movie.
How lucky for him.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
This thing.
Yep.
this
That's
thing
like a
just
pretty
fucking
big age gap,
rips.
right?
it's decent sized. Next up, we've got Kumail Nanjiani's The Big Sick. This one was
Great
based
movie.
on his relationship with Emily V. Gordon, the writer. So the two of them co-wrote it together. Zoe Kazan plays his wife or his girlfriend in the movie. It deals with them having a budding relationship and then her having a serious mental, or a serious, not mental,
I
I don't
forget
know,
what was wrong with her.
some sort of illness.
Yeah,
And
she has
she's stuck in the hospital, and he's still standing by her side. Ray Romano, Holly Hunter are really good as her parents in the movie. A lot of comedians are in it as well. Bo Burnham, some other ones. They're like his stand-up comedy friends. This is one I would highly recommend to anyone looking to watch a comedy. Despite how dark it sounds, it's got a happy ending, and it's very funny.
Nice.
I'd say this was like the first of like Ray Romano getting back out there and like really being in a lot of movies again, or a lot of like stuff again. Like he was in Irishman after this. He's got some other stuff that he's been in recently.
shockingly good in this.
Yeah, he's a very strong actor.
Good for Ray Romano.
Everybody loves him. Then we've got The Greatest Showman. This is the musical with Mr. Jackman and Zac Efron, Zendaya, a bunch of other people. Good songs.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. I don't like the movie as much as everybody else does, but I think the songs are good.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say the soundtrack is the reason why it was like one of the leggiest movies of the past like 20 years. I think it opened to like less than 10 million and ended up making close to 200 million.
Wow,
That's crazy.
that's
in the US.
determination.
Yeah. So that was really impressive. All right, JP, you're gonna have to help me with these next two.
I'm already up there for this first one.
All right,
You get me. 2017. It's a Bella Thorne vehicle, starring Halston Sage and Taylor John Smith. Sitting there at 26 tomatoes. After a big bust-up with his beloved girlfriend, a guy ends up in the arms of a seductive newcomer. Afterwards, she develops an obsession with keeping the newly found romance alive. People also searched for Before I Fall, The Babysitter, and The Babysitter Killer Queen.
Yeah, I mean, two Bella Thorne vehicles with Babysitter and Babysitter Killer Queen. Babysitter came out in 2017 as well.
Yeah.
Big Bella Thorne here.
She was really good in Babysitter, though.
Yeah, she was funny in that one.
Like an absolute empty vessel.
How about Flower? Tell me about Flower.
Flower, another Zoe Deutsch film with Joey Morgan.
Kate is a big Zoe Deutsch fan, I'm realizing.
Yeah.
Got Catherine Hahn and Adam Scott. It's got Tim Heidecker in it. How lovely. A rebellious, quick-witted Erica Vandross is a 17-year-old firecracker living with her single mom, Lori, and her mom's new boyfriend, Bob, in LA.
Wait, who's Lori? Who plays Lori and Bob?
Lori is Catherine Hahn, and Bob is Tim Heidecker of Tim and Eric fame.
Wow. Okay.
That's a random
All right,
one.
this sounds interesting.
They're living in LA's wonderful San Fernando Valley when Bob's mentally unbalanced son, Luke, arrives from rehab to live with the family. And then probably hilarity ensues. Joey Morgan, never heard of him. Looks like a child.
How many tomatoes?
Let's see. 49 tomatoes. Just shy of the 50 tomato mark. Unfortunately.
Yeah, it's 11 more. It'd be fresh. All right. Sounds interesting, at least.
Yeah.
Gifted. This is Chris Evans. This is actually a really good one as well, and it takes place in St. Petersburg. They go to no.
That's what immediately came to my feet too.
It takes place in St. Pete, and they go to they go to they go to Ferg's in the movie.
Oh, lovely.
Which is pretty cool. I don't think it actually got filmed there, but like in St. Pete. But I thought that was neat since it's a place we've been to before. Yeah, Chris Evans is dealing with basically having to look over his sister's child after she passes away, and she's a genius. And then he's figuring out how to deal with that responsibility. Jenny Slate's in it. She plays like his love interest. Octavia Spencer. She's like a neighbor who is very helpful. It was a good movie. I saw it on HBO. Would definitely recommend this one.
Cool.
How many tomatoes it got?
It has 73 tomatoes, so pretty good.
So there are no Russian sleeper cells in this movie.
Unfortunately.
No.
Okay.
Unfortunately, they're not. They're just Florida people.
2017 is void of ghouls.
No ghouls to talk about today.
0 ghouls in this year. No ghouls.
Well, I mean, what else? Annabelle Creation was in 2017, right?
Is she really a ghoul, though? She's just a doll.
Well, she's a doll, but she brings the ghouls out. It doesn't count.
True.
I don't know if that's certified ghoul fresh.
All right, maybe we can get a little more ghoulish in 2018. After our next episode, we'll have to make sure that at least one ghoul is mentioned.
Unfortunately, we missed our mark. In 2016, a movie called The Ghoul came out, and no one saw it, nor did they talk about it. So,
didn't know
that ship has fucking sailed.
Damn it!
Missed opportunity.
We had one job to do.
Damn shame.
That's it.
Kate says the Mummy is a ghoul.
Okay.
The Mummy is
I mean,
ghoulish.
Mildly ghoulish.
Kind of. I mean, yeah.
That's a fair shout out.
Russell Crowe is ghoul-like, I suppose, in that film.
Okay.
I
Ghoul
mean,
adjacent.
yeah. If we're gonna stretch it.
All right.
I'm just looking at this chat now. It's so ridiculous.
Oh, chat's fantastic. It's always a good time.
I
in
never
chat.
get to enjoy it. But all right. And the posters look great.
Thank you.